All righty. I guess that's my cue to call us to order as we're reaching 9:30 on every clock that I can see in front of me, phone, computer, and everything. So we are going to call to order the July 18th, 2025 meeting of the Employment Training Panel. I'm going to pass to staff for housekeeping and roll call.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending the July 2025 panel meeting. Before we begin, there's a few housekeeping announcements. If you are here in the room, in order to avoid a persistent disturbance of the proceeding, please do not stream via mobile device or connect to the Zoom platform as it will interfere with our recording and sound system. If you are attending the meeting in person and are presenting or providing comments, please step up to the podium and speak clearly and directly into the microphone. For those who are viewing or attending the meeting virtually and would like to make public comments, please use the raise hand feature and wait for your name to be called, in which time you will be unmuted. When providing comments in person or online, please speak clearly, state your name, title, the company you are representing, and you will be given 3 minutes to speak. Lastly, ensure a respectful and professional environment. Please keep the side conversations to a minimum while inside of the hearing room. If you need to have a discussion, kindly step outside to avoid disruptions of the meeting. Now we'll proceed with the roll call. Douglas Tracy, Jennifer Fothergill,
Present.
Michael Hill,
Present.
Gretchen Newsom,
Present.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Present.
Ricky Smiles,
Present.
Mike Greenlee, and Derek Kirk.
Present.
Thank you. Chair Betancourt, there are 5 members present and 1 virtual member. Also present, we have Jessica Grimes, Executive Director, Peter Cooper, Assistant Director, Senior Advisor, Kumani Armstrong, Assistant Director, Chief Counsel, Tara Armstrong, Deputy Director of Technology, Chief Information Officer, Laura Campbell, Chief Deputy Director. Thank you.
Thank you. So we will move to the approval of the July panel meeting agenda. Does anyone have any changes, requests, or do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. And then can we move to vote on that one? Actually, sorry, any public comment on that? So
No public comments online.
All right, can we move to vote, please?
Yes, Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk,
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Aye.
All righty, so we are all good with the agenda. I'm now moving for the approval of May's panel meeting minutes. Are there any amendments or changes that anyone wants to make? If not, a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any public comments on the meeting minutes from May? Not seeing any. I'm guessing none online.
No public comments online.
All right, we'll move to vote then.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk,
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Aye.
All righty, so those stand. I am going to pass it over to staff on the beginning of the executive report. So I think I'm passing it over to Dr. Grimes.
Thank you, Chair Betancourt. Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. I want to begin my report by sharing some exciting news. Laura Campbell has been promoted as ETP's Chief Deputy Director. Congratulations, Laura. As we convene for the first panel meeting of the 2025-26 fiscal year, I'm eager to build upon our achievements of the past fiscal year and look forward to further opportunities for collaboration for an even greater impact. We are entering a year filled with exciting opportunities as we continue our collaboration with the California Energy Commission's Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Training Program. We are also excited to continue administering the alternatively funded programs, including the Social Entrepreneurs for Economic Development, or SEED 2.5, Paid Family Leave, the Healthcare Workforce Advancement Fund, as well as the Workforce Literacy Pilot Program. This progress is made possible thanks to the dedication of the ETP staff. I would like to especially take a moment to recognize the regional office development teams whose recent efforts are beginning to show a reduction in the time required to develop projects from inception to completion. This efficiency not only strengthens our capacity to meet ETP's mission, but also enables us to swiftly address training needs and adapt to evolving priorities. ETP will continue its vital role in training workers across California's high-priority industry sectors, including clean energy, agriculture, healthcare, and advanced manufacturing. Our dedicated staff remains focused on ensuring that training opportunities are accessible to all, particularly underserved communities such as those who reside in high unemployment areas, immigrants, and English learners. Through these efforts, we aim to cultivate a skilled, future-ready workforce where careers offer upward mobility and foster tangible wage gains. In alignment with Governor Newsom's California Jobs First economic blueprint, we are committed to effectively addressing regional workforce needs, ensuring equitable access to training, empowering communities, fostering sustainable economic growth, advancing equity, and driving resilient job creation across the state. Now, for the first panel of this fiscal year, we have 28 proposals submitted for review. If approved, ETP will award approximately $7.1 million. 46% are from repeat contractors, 43% fall within the priority industry sector of manufacturing, 46% represent small businesses, and 29% originate from high unemployment areas. 11 of the proposals are delegations that were approved and funded using last year's fiscal year's funds. Today's proposals will be presented for review and action by Heather Miguel. That concludes my portion of the executive report, so I will hand it over to the executive team to continue with our Chief Counsel, Kumani Armstrong, starting. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, panel members. We are currently in year one of the 2025-26 legislative session, today being the next significant legislative deadline, which is the last day for policy committees to hear and report on bills and begin the adjournment for the summer recess. At this time, there's nothing new to report. You'll find in your panel packet a current legislative memorandum. We are closely monitoring AB 765, which is a bill that would prohibit monies in the Employment Training Fund from being diverted, transferred, or otherwise used to pay interest charged on federal loans or related liabilities without the approval of the legislature, and public report justifying the necessity of the diversion. We're currently monitoring that, among other bills, and also SB 470, which is effectively would extend the Bagley-Keene provisions, allowing for teleconference public meetings from January 1, 26 to January 1, 2030. And most recently, as of July 9th, on that bill, that passed committee and was re-referred to the Committee on Appropriation. But you'll find more details in your legislative memo. Thank you.
I think we're passing it to me now. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, panel
You guys
members.
fight it out.
I know. We did it with our eyes. Good morning, panel members and stakeholders. I'm Tara Armstrong with the Information Technology Update today. So under our CaliForce system and Cali program, I want to highlight a few things that our team has been working on. So we've added a customer enhancements for ease of managing their contract, and these include a managed trainee page, allowing contractors to manually mass edit trainees, as well as an add hours report to showing summary of roster information and allowing for the same trainee selections to be added to those rosters. Secondly, in our application work group, we're streamlining the application. I know that the application has lots and lots of questions. So where we can amend it and still gather the right information, we're making those changes. So for example, under the special category section of our app, we're still collecting the pertinent information, but we've reduced it from 15 questions to 5. So this is an ongoing effort, and I'll just keep updating you as we go. We have also released a customer satisfaction survey. So we're increasing our customer service outreach and monitoring I'll have some feedback to you as we go through the year. And lastly, I want to give a big thank you and a congratulations to our IT manager, Sam Chilang. He's here in the audience over there. He's in the background scenes. He's moving on to an exciting new role. Sam's done an incredible job over the past 2+ years, helping us grow into a stronger, more mature technical organization. We really appreciate all the hard work and expertise and leadership that he's brought to our team. And we're, best of luck, Sam, on your new adventure. You will definitely be missed. And that concludes my report, and I'll pass it to Laura.
Good morning and welcome panel members and stakeholders. Thank you for the opportunity to provide a summary of the Employment Training Panel's funding. Regarding funding, today's panel meeting is for approximately $7.1 million. Included in today's panel are 11 approved delegation orders for a total of $516,544. Delegation orders are proposals capped at $75,000 and approved under delegated authority by the director on a continuous flow basis. If all the proposals scheduled for this panel meeting are funded today, the panel will approve 17 projects. Regarding demand, we have 327 applications in demand. 202 applications are currently in development with the regional offices. 25 applications are under eligibility review, and 100 submitted applications are pending review. The estimated value of 327 applications is $135.1 million and breaks down as follows. $38 million in demand for single employer contracts, $17.2 million in demand for small business, $11 million in demand for multiple employer contractors, and $70 million in demand for apprenticeships. Regarding allocations, we are currently within our total allocation for the state fiscal year 25-26. Thank goodness, since it's the first month of the year. Thank you. I would like to hand it back to you, Madam Chair, for the next topic on the agenda.
All righty, thank you. We are moving. I'm
Madam
glad
Chair,
we're where we are.
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
Tara, I won't nerd out totally on the panel on some of the application stuff that you're working on, but I would just say, one, thank you, because I think not enough state agencies pay attention to the redundancies in their applications and the ways to streamline processes. And ETP has always, I feel like, done a really incredible job at that. Our office is also looking at some opportunities to streamline application questions across our business support and workforce incentive programs, and recognizing that there are a lot of employers that are able to access multiple programs, and starting to look at the matrix to say there are a few states that shall not be named because we don't do that and give them any credit, but that have things like shared applications or, an application that asks the same questions that can be passed from agency to agency. That is really holistic.
I work with some of those. I really like those.
Yeah. We don't really like them, but we like the work that they do.
But we like
yeah.
do, yes.
So, just want to open the door and say publicly that I think if we can explore stuff like that, not only does it make it easier for our applicants and the businesses that we work with, but quite frankly, as a colleague in another agency, it makes it easier for us too, right? To explore those types of opportunities. So thanks for doing that. And I look forward to more conversations.
Absolutely. Looking to join it. And I know labor agencies also has the same effort,
Yeah.
and we're trying to join together
That's awesome.
to collaborate. So thank you.
That's great.
I think everyone in this room would appreciate duplication being removed. I'm going to echo it, but I think everyone in this room would be like, yes, that question's the same. So yeah, no, thank you. We do appreciate it. Any other comments? Okay, we are moving to, I believe, Gretchen next for Policy Committee report out.
Thank you. And if I can do a quick point of personal privilege, obviously I'm participating in this meeting remotely. And I wanted to just forewarn and state for the record that I plan on recusing myself from all IBEW local union proposals and contracts that are going to be heard later in the agenda. And then separately, I do need to step away from this hearing at approximately 11 a.m. Pacific time for some personal business that would likely take up to 60 minutes. Now coming back to ETP Policy Committee report. We last met on Thursday, June 26th, with attendees participating both in person and via Zoom. The single agenda item for this meeting was reviewing the results of the survey that was sent to all the multiple employer contractors, known as MECs, and subcontractors, and this centered on around ways that the MECs operate as it relates to their participating employers, curriculum development, and their approach to the ETP application process. ETP would like to thank all of the survey respondents for their time and energy in completing the survey. The discussion was educational and stimulating and will result in a series of additional application questions for MECs that will be presented at the next policy committee meeting in August. And anyone that would like to suggest any potential agenda items for future policy committee meetings should email their suggestions to Liz Testa, our ETP policy manager. And that concludes my report.
Thanks, Gretchen. Does anyone have any questions or comments on policy? Just checking. We'll hopefully have no duplication in the questions as well as we go forward with it. Just making sure for Tara's sake. Okay, I am going to move back to staff because I think we're going to proposals, but I think we may have an issue that I'm going to hand over quickly.
Yes, Madam Chair, I do want to bring up an issue. We are going to have a quorum problem for EVITP for the IBEW proposals. And so I want to ask Chief Counsel about how we might be able to address that.
I think five out of 8.
We have
recusals.
actually
We'll have
2,
two
it'll be
recusals.
4.
I'll be recusing myself as well.
There's 2 recusals.
We should table that.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we thought. We just wanted to make sure.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Heather, are you good? We got
No,
a
no,
bit
no,
none.
I-
I can see
Look,
we got
no,
you
no,
mid
no.
kind of.
Hey, I'm here at your leisure, right? No, I just, nothing we can do. These things happen. I
Mhm.
do just want to recognize that the
Yeah.
EVITP awardees came today. And, you know, we will hear this next month, but they are here. So just want to recognize them for submitting good proposals for the EVITP project.
Are we able to do non-IBEW because we do have quorum, or do
My
you want to do them
understanding is
all
that we can.
at the same time? I'm looking at Kimani for guidance, I think, just in case we,
Yeah.
I think we may have the same view.
Can
but-
we,
I would say table,
the whole?
The whole.
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I echo Heather's sentiments there about coming in. I think we'll be able to look at how we do this, whether it's a virtual option or something for next month. But I do appreciate everyone being here. This is
Yeah.
we were not foreseeing not having quorum
Correct.
for that second section.
I, as a program advocate, let me put that hat on. I would, I think our awardees would be pleased if we could maybe hear them virtually next month, given they're here today. So thank you for
Yes.
coming. I really appreciate them all.
Madam Chairperson, afterthought, and I've consulted with Laura, we do have quorum for the
We
non-IEBW
do.
pieces. So if they are here, we can go forward with those.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm happy either way, whichever you feel is the most
I think it's
fair and
okay.
equitable way. I wanted to make sure we were being,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's okay since they've traveled.
okay. So we can go non-IBEW ones because we have no recusals on those. I'm
Okay.
handing it over
That's
to you
what
now.
we'll do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's my turn anyway.
But I did have a question with everyone on panel. Do we want to hear these and approve as per a consent calendar where we hear Heather's summary of here are the packets, then we just do as one vote for all that are non-IBEW, or do you want to hear each individually and approve each individually?
Madam Chair, can I ask a
Yes.
question? This partnership, and staff can correct me if I'm wrong, this is not ETF funding that we're considering, or that is being considered for these awards. This is a partnership that ETP entered into an interagency agreement with the Energy Commission, of which the Energy Commission is, dare I say, theoretically the actual decision
Yep.
maker in these awards. And so I think I would ask the question, does the panel actually need to vote on these grants? They were solicited in a competitive fashion.
Yep.
Theoretically, the Energy Commission has the legal authority to override us or to revoke the dollars if they
Correct.
disagree with something that we've said. And it's my understanding that the Energy Commission has already had to review this for consideration. So to me, it feels like to respect the fact that the folks came today and that we don't have a quorum, and that I don't think, Kamani can correct me if I'm wrong, that we are actually obligated to vote on these particular awards, that we could make this an informational item and just let staff move forward with the awarding process.
I'll look at Kimani on that because I'm on both sides. I'm on both absolutely in the same way from what I understood of it. But yeah, happy to entertain that if Kimani.
I think that we are facilitating, you're correct, and you raise really salient points. We're facilitating the CEC's project.
Yeah.
So it's somewhat of a gray area, but this is really guided by their decision-making.
Yeah.
And
And staff, sorry to interrupt, Kamani. Staff did a great job in the RFP, of which the panel did approve, making sure that the guidelines were in alignment with the panel's policy priorities, right? They were in alignment with all of our best practices, which is why the Energy Commission wanted to partner with ETP on this in the first place. And rather than putting I don't think that this would necessarily happen, but rather than putting the panel in a position where we may get overruled by the Energy Commission on something like that, I would encourage us to lean in on the competitive scoring process that staff managed and just make this an informational item.
I'm looking at everyone else. I'm on the same, I'm going to say fence as you on that, in like the same game of, does it really need to be approved, or is it more just informal and we're good, we support?
Yeah, and if I may, thank you, Panel Member Kirk, for bringing that up. We have been working very closely with the CEC. In fact, our program representative, Jana McKinney, is here from the CEC. She has been very supportive. And all of these proposals, as well as the award amounts, we have awarded in collaboration with CEC, very, very close collaboration. So I think that's a great point. So I just wanted to chime in on that.
Yeah, I guess my question would be is more, are we just saying, yes, we're good with these? And does panel have any questions of any of the proposals, or do we need an overview? I guess, what's the logistical piece next? And I'm going to look at Kimani because it's protocol.
I think that you can go either way. The panel can decide if they want to just hear it informationally, or if you want to take a vote on these kind of a rubber stamp type of a vote, that's fine too. I don't think there's any procedural issues going either way.
So for me, I'm going to tell my voice, we have a room full of people who are awardees that if we went the vote way, half would not be awarded today, half would, whereas we have a room full, if we just go on the overview, everyone knows they walk out of here with funding. They've gone through the application process. It's all through a very metered, very structured application process, has met all guidelines. I'm in the favor of the first, of just doing a very quick overview from Heather and then it being they are funded, but I'm looking at everyone else. I think I know where Derek is.
No,
You're
it's
with
Madam
that
Chair,
one.
it's in-
Informational.
Informational.
Madam
So-
Chair? Oh, Gretchen has a comment.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Gretchen.
I'm not really of that mind, because it feels to me, staff, correct me if I'm wrong, the funds are still flowing through ETP. It's reliant on us to make sure that the applicants are fully conforming with all of our processes and review process, et cetera. And I mean, it reminds me similar to the seed grant awards that we've done previously, that had to come before the panel for a vote, and other pilot programs that were similar to this. So there's kind of like they're standing on that. I mean, I could go either way. I just want there to be awareness that as these funds proceed forward and the training is implemented and given, that's really going through ETP to do that checkpoint and to process these applications. And if that's not the case, then please have staff correct me on that. But like, yes, CEC approved these concepts, but still the logistics and how this is being implemented is through ETP.
If I can, Panel Member Newsom, I think that there's one precedent set for grants that are by the legislature and the governor allocated directly to ETP, that flows through the normal ETP process. It's a very different thing for another agency to ask for support from one of their sister agencies when they technically have the obligation, and we are in effect just being a facilitator on behalf of that other agency and the partnership that they developed in that way, right? And I mean, in like, to take it out to the worst case scenario, and forgive me for doing that, if we opted not to vote or support one of the awardees today, the Energy Commission could simply come back and say, we disagree and it's our money, and so we're moving forward anyway. It just puts us in a really odd scenario. I love the partnership, and I'm incredibly grateful that the Energy Commission thought to use the infrastructure that is ETP for that.
Absolutely.
And I think given that we approved or that this panel approved the structure with which that would go through, let's make it an informational item and just kind of say, because it's an interagency agreement and we are simply facilitating this on behalf of the Energy Commission, it is different than like the historic seed grants that the panel has received.
Yeah, I can
I'm
be
hearing
in
you.
agreement on that. And my concern would be like, I just want there to be awareness, like, and an understanding, like this training, EVITP training, is for California State certified electricians. And I think it's reliant on ETP to ensure that the training is going to certified electricians. And the check and the balance on that is just something that I had planned on raising questions around and making sure that that's going to occur, and that the applicants are fully aware and understanding that this is for California State certified electricians at the journey level to come back and get additional certifications and training for that. It's not somebody off the street that it doesn't have any electrical skill set. And some of the summary narratives kind of raised some of those questions for me. But if there is that understanding and like there is that check and balance and it's coming from ETP, I guess, since we're processing these, then fine, I'm okay.
If I may, panel member Newsom, to your point, this is for those state certified electricians that will be included in the contract itself. It's also included in the solicitation for proposals that went out as well. In addition to that, my colleague handed me a couple sentences from the SFP I would like to read to you all that might lend some information to this conversation. It says, only those proposals deemed to be meritorious and in the best interests of the CEC and the ETP will be recommended for funding. Proposed awardees will be required to attend an ETP panel meeting on a date to be determined for final consideration. All awardees are subject to the availability of appropriated funds and to any modifications or requirements imposed by law, et cetera. We did not explicitly in the SFP state that the panel had to approve these funds. So you do that with what you wish.
Why,
And
thank you.
may I interject? My understanding is that we do have a rich history of bringing forward alternatively funded projects for transparency purposes and to make sure that the panel is aware that we're in line with the mission. And I think that this is the intentionality behind this as well. And so, I want to respond to the concerns that were raised around whether or not we are aware of the scope of work and the eligibility requirements that are within this interagency agreement. I do understand that, and that can still be asked. It's just a matter of, what is the, next step? Is it a vote, or is it we're moving forward with the understanding that they've met those requirements and that this is more of an information item? And my last point is this, just looking, at the agenda itself, this is later on in the agenda, so I'm kind of wondering if we might have a formal maybe recommendation to maybe move this up a little bit further.
Try really hard to go rogue, Madam Chair.
It's the first
Just so that we
approval.
can
I was
just
like, it's supposed to prove.
have this documented.
Back as it that way.
Yeah.
You can tell we've had 6 weeks off, can't you? It is we don't like missed meetings. It gets us all over. So I think we've very clearly heard also Parliament Newsom's concerns, not concerns, but her awareness of the importance of certain pieces in this. So I am going to say I'm feeling very strong about just being like, we've heard everything, we're good, but I just want to make sure panel is. And then are we okay to go into proposals, or do we need to do anything formal? Because of course I've just played around with the agenda without even realizing it. Giovanni, is there anything formal we need to do?
I don't think there's anything formal that needs to
Okay.
happen.
So I'm hearing everyone seems to be good with this. Gretchen, I'm looking at you up on the big screen and just checking you are okay.
So like when we say we're okay, it's now an informational item that's been
Yes.
essentially approved and is now proceeding
Mhm.
forward. Just
Yes.
bring up additional awareness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
okay. All right. So if I hear that correctly, those proposals are all funded according to the proposals on the allowance amounts. And we can then move into the actual agenda because I'm having a day of it. It's okay.
So, sorry,
Yeah. No,
let
it's
me
okay
make
because
sure
I'm
I'm
like
clear.
Miss jumping around.
Are we going to allow panel members to ask questions, or have we considered this matter done?
We've considered it
Okay.
done. Correct?
Congratulations, EVITV
Yes.
employees.
You do have money.
We were not expecting this, so thank you all for being
I don't think
flexible.
we were expecting quite this conversation, but I think it was a
Yeah,
really good
this is great.
conversation.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, it's a lot of people. We appreciate everyone being here.
Okay,
Yeah.
and now they're all leaving.
And keep me in check, people, because I'm on a Friday morning.
We also did them a favor because they don't have to wait until the end.
Exactly. I thought someone might actually say, can we bring it forward? So, it's in my panel packet, one order, and I just go by the order in there, not the agenda. So
It was a great discussion.
Alrighty, I guess we're going to proposals now.
That's me again.
That's you again.
All right, panel members, we are on tab 1. This is a proposal for A. Teichert and Son, Inc., DBA Teichert Construction. They are
Hang on, Heather.
Heather, I'm going to recuse myself.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. We're ready to go. And Rick's kind
I
of
was
sleeping.
ready.
It's okay. Oh, no. I was sleeping before. It's not his turn. Alrighty.
Okay. Tab 1, A. Teichert and Son, Inc., DBA Teichert Construction. They are a repeat contractor with good prior performance, requesting $585,200 to train a total of 550 workers. Training will take place at their facilities located throughout California, specifically in Alameda, El Dorado, Fresno, LA, Monterey, Nevada, Placer, Sacramento, San Bernardino, San Diego, San Joaquin, Yolo, Yuba counties. You get it. Representatives from Teichert are here to answer any questions that panel members may have.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right, good morning. This has been quite interesting. My name, so Ms. Chair and members of the panel, I'm Noreen Engelhardt. I'm the HR manager at Teichert. I'd like to thank Marisol Niquit from the ETP staff who helped us with our proposal. The construction industry is constantly evolving with advancements in technology, tools, and techniques. Our prior ETP projects have been highly successful, enabling us to strengthen the skills of our workforce, enhance the operational efficiency, and provide meaningful career development opportunities for our employees. The training we've delivered through ETP has had a lasting and measurable impact across our organization, particularly in construction technologies and upward development of our workforce. I do want to say at this time that we do have apprentices, but they are not trained as part of this project. We remain deeply committed to investing in our people and in California's workforce and infrastructure. We've done this since 1887. This proposed project will allow us to continue building internal talent pipelines, implement new technologies, and support the professional growth of both new and incumbent workers. I want to thank the panel for considering our proposal, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Does anyone have questions? Mike, go ahead.
Just a curiosity question. I see you have a 3-year initiative for, I think it's some engineering program. That's unusual to me, so I just was curious as to what stimulated the idea of a 3-year initiative.
So are you referring to our Tykert University Project Engineer Program?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, so we train our labor force as well as our craft union labor force, as well as what we call our admin workforce, which is comprised of our project engineers, project managers, superintendents. That project engineer program is, we start with interns through the colleges, then we hire them when they graduate. And then they start a 3-year program through the project engineer 1 and 2 levels of their positions. And it goes through training of the entire project cycle, whether it's a paving project, an underground project, a grading project, and it teaches them the whole process throughout that of not just building the work, but also managing the work. And typically after that 3-year program, they promote to an assistant project manager or an assistant superintendent or an assistant estimator, and there's 3 different areas that they promote to. And that's what that program is designed for. Does that answer?
yeah, I applaud you for that. That's career progression and wage progression, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Developing our future.
Thank you.
Any other questions from panel? I'm just checking Gretchen hasn't.
No,
Gretchen, could you hear clearly? Because it was
Yeah.
soft in here, but I wanted to double check.
no, I could hear her loud and clear.
Okay. Okay, it was soft, but it wasn't soft. And I was wanting to make sure. I knew you'd probably tell us, but I just wanted to double check. Okay, any other questions, or do we have a motion?
I move a motion to approve the A. Tykert and Son, DBA Tykert Construction ETP contract in a funding amount of $585,200.
Second,
A second from Mike. Do I have any public comments on this proposal?
No public comments online.
And no one's coming up to the podium, so we will move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
aye.
Ricky, oh no, not Ricky. Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk,
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Aye.
All right, so we all voted in favor, so the proposal is funded.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, panel member Smiles. All right, we are moving to tab 2. This is Agilent Technologies, Inc. They are a repeat contractor with good prior performance, requesting $599,200 to train a total of 535 workers. Training will take place at their facilities in Santa Clara, Folsom, and Carpinteria, and representatives are here to answer any questions.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, members of the panel. My name is Melinda Williams. I'm the Associate Vice President of Learning and Development at Agilent Technologies. I'm joined today by my colleague, Vianne Davis, Learning and Development Program Manager, who's worked with Phil over our last previous ETP contracts. We respectfully request your support in continuing to upskill our employees at our Folsom, Carpinteria, and Santa Clara locations. In addition to technical training, we prioritize professional training to ensure that our employees have support in internal mobility and our retention of our employees. Our approach to our training includes classroom training, e-learning, on-the-job training, and self-paced training. So we respectfully request your support in continuing to continuous growth of our employees, and our skills that we develop for our employees are transferable across the life sciences and manufacturing sectors. So thank you so much for your time and consideration today, and we're happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Any questions? I did have one that pricked my ears as you were talking. You talked about OJT, but we are not covering Productive Lab, correct?
No.
Just making sure. Just making sure. You mentioned the word OJT, my ears go Productive Lab. So just wanted to make sure, and I'm just scrolling through, so that's fine. Any other questions? Comments? Do I have a motion? We're waking up slowly. It's okay.
Motion to approve Gillent Technologies, Inc., contract number ET 26-0110 in the amount of $599,200.
Thank you, Rick.
Second.
Thanks, Mike. Do we have any public comment on this?
No public comments online.
And no one in the room, so we'll move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk,
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Aye.
All right, so we all voted in favor, so the motion's adopted and you're funded. Thank
very
you.
much. I also wanted to publicly thank Jesse Garcia for supporting us in this process. Philip Pereira.
Can't miss Philip. Yeah.
All right, panel members, please turn to tab 3. This is a proposal for Drink Pack LLC. They are a new contractor requesting $200,760 to train a total of 239 workers. Training will take place at their location in Santa Clarita, and representatives are here to answer any questions you may have.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, panel members. My name is Holly Schroeder, Vice President of External Affairs at Drink Pack, and this is my colleague, Justin Wallace, our Director of Learning and Development. Thank you for considering our application. Drink Pack is a contract beverage manufacturer, so we provide full service support to major beverage brands. In the less than 5 years that the company has existed, we have quickly become a significant employer because we are transforming the beverage manufacturing process through the use of state-of-the-art technology. But we recognize that technology only gets us so far, and it's really our people that make the difference. We are pursuing this ETP contract so that we can invest in our employees by offering opportunities for skill and career development. We aim to be an employer of choice, not only by offering highly competitive wages and benefits, but by offering continuous learning opportunities that enhance employee skills, improve production efficiency, and support career advancement. This would be our first ETP contract, aimed at training nearly 240 employees. And while this is Drink Pack's first contract, it's not the first experience with ETP for either me or for Justin. I formerly led the Santa Clarita Valley Economic Development Corporation, where our focus was on securing high-quality jobs in the area and connecting those employers with resources such as ETP. That's where I first encountered Drink Pack and really saw their focus on serving their employees and serving the community as they grew. I recruited them in Santa Clarita and also connected them with Justin, who worked at College of the Canyons at the time, and worked with local employers to connect them to all of the educational resources from the community college, including their administered ETP contract. So we are confident that Drink Pack will be a good steward of your ETP funds, and this contract will provide impactful training for Drink Pack's employees. We're hopeful for your approval and are happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. I'm going to open this to the floor because I know there are potentially some questions just given through what I read as well. I'm going to open the floor to panel for any questions, comments that anyone may have.
I have some questions. So your 2024 turnover rate was at 31%.
Yep.
In your proposal, you did provide explanation to why that turnover rate was as high as it was. Just for the record, the ETP threshold, is 20%. And then at the 20% that is exceeded, then the explanation is included in the proposal. So thank you for that information. I guess what concerns me is that and please correct me if I'm wrong, one of the reasons for that higher turnover rate was because you hired a whole bunch of employees here in California that were then going to be transferred to the Texas facility or Texas location that did not open, so those employees had to be laid off. Is that correct?
That is a piece of what
Okay.
happened. So one of the things that Drink Pack is doing is we're building a national network of manufacturing facilities, right? People consume drinks where they live. So we want to place our locations near population centers. We had planned on building a facility in Fort Worth, Texas. The first building that we looked at ran into a construction issue. That caused a year-plus delay in the opening of that facility. We simultaneously were going through phenomenal growth here in California, right? So we were, and this was, say in 2023 and early 2023, we had a significant amount of increase in customers. We were building new lines, so we were a little bit all hands on deck. And we were also moving into a number of short-term contracts for warehousing space because the new warehouse space that we were building was also delayed in California. It's right adjacent to our production facility. So there's a lot of factors that were going on during this very, very high growth phase of us. So as we moved into 2024, those lines were complete. The buildings became complete. We moved out of those short-term sublease warehouse spaces into sort of our optimized space. And then, of course, the Texas project was delayed. So through all of that, we had to sort of right-size the entirety of our workforce. Now, since then, we have secured another facility in Texas, and we have created a Texas subsidiary that will be handling the hiring and administration of that operation. So we had really this one-time incident of really having to right-size the organization for sustainable, and we've stayed at that level since then of employment. And since trending so far in 2025, our turnover rate is trending at 6.2%. So we've really brought that down. It really was a one-time incident that I can't imagine a situation where it would occur again.
Thank you for that explanation. And I guess where I have a little heartburn with that is that these residents of California were hired and employed, and then they were let go, for whatever reason, and it was a large amount. With the trainees that you are training, will these trainees be transferred to Texas?
No.
Okay, they will remain in California.
California, correct.
Okay. Think I'm good for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Just make a comment.
Of course you can.
To me, that was a painful learning experience for management.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And we would not like to see that again. These situations occur because of the decisions that management makes. So it's the fault of management, basically, independent of all these other details that might be happening around construction. So better foresight, better planning, better strategy is probably needed in this case.
Yes, and as part of our ongoing maturation as a company, as I mentioned, we are a young company. We've been making substantial investments in our people strategy. We have since hired a chief people officer who is leading a broad strategy to not only ensure we're hiring better, we're having a better hiring strategy, leading with Justin the learning and development of career pathways. All of that, I think, is part of us having learned some painful lessons. You're correct, Mr. Hill. And again, I don't see any circumstance under which that confluence of events would reoccur.
I'm looking at the reasons for high turnover in the panel packet, and I understand the Texas piece and the hiring, but number 4 in there rings really not a concern, but you had higher turnover as well in 22 and 23 in double digits. It's not 20%, but it was 11, 12, 13% kind of window. And you're talking about tracking improved performance management, 90-day performance review. Are you expecting, this is going to sound really bad, more to shake out based on that? Or are you seeing that's actually raising the bar? So turnover happens often when we're cracking down on performance, we're cracking down on this, or they go out on leave, whichever way they choose to go. Are you expecting to forecast to see more turnover as you're putting this in, to still see it may affect you to be slightly higher? Or are you confident that this isn't going to fuel future turnover if we're really looking at performance and attendance? Is the expectation now clear and set, I guess, is the question.
Yes, I believe so. And again, that has been a big part of our people strategy this year, is really establishing better expectations up front. One of the other projects not funded by this, by the ETP, is a revamping of our onboarding and our orientation sessions that went from being relatively brief when we were a new company to now being a multi-day starting point with prescribed refresher and check-ins over the first 30, 60, 90 days that somebody is working with us to make sure that they are getting support, that they are getting the information that they need, they're getting the training that we need. We've launched a survey tool associated with that onboarding that every couple of weeks checks in with the employees to get feedback. So we've really worked on trying to make sure we're hiring better and we're setting people up for success. And again, as we've moved from being in building mode, if you will, as we were installing new lines and getting our facility footprint established, to now being very much at sort of what our ongoing workforce is going to look like. We've been able to stabilize and really go to the next level in terms of developing all of these programs. And that's why we think the ETP program really helps us continue to level that up.
And did you see your turnover be exceptionally high in one area on these performance plan or these performance criteria, I'm going to call it, where we're talking about attendance, performance? Did you see your turnover being affected greatly in one occupation more than the other, or was it across the board in that 30% turnover in 24?
Well, not surprisingly, it was largely in our, our packaging operators and our forklift drivers, in part because they are also the largest worker base that we have.
And are you looking to heavily train incumbent workers in those roles today? Like when I look at the numbers, or are you looking at more new hires coming in? So are we at a stable here in California, or are we still growing? We think 20% of his contract's going to go new hire, 80% is going to go incumbent, vice versa. What are we really focused on? Because I think this may help with, like, as we look at turnover and concerns that we have.
Yeah, we are, I do believe we are stable in terms of the size of our workforce here. And again, that turnover rate has come down. This is largely around upskilling, and maybe Justin, I could ask him if you want to hear a little bit about some of the types of trainings that we're doing, if that would be of interest, just to show you about how we are kind of focusing this on upskilling.
So to answer the question, the primary focus would be on our incumbent workers. So obviously when someone comes on board, there's a more structured onboarding process. Every new department gets an onboarding toolkit that outlines a 30, 60, 90-day program, the expectations that you're going to do, a certain sequence of computer-based trainings. You're going to do some on-the-job training, which is not included in ETP, obviously. But then we're also going to continue to invest in you after your 30, 60, 90 days in leadership development, some Lean Six Sigma programs, and more technical training as well. So primarily incumbent workers initially, but once individuals go through their 90-day, they're here with us full time, they're good to go. We deem them as a long-term fit with DrinkPack. We're going to continue to invest in them. Does that answer your question?
Yes, if I was a forklift driver that's incumbent, what training am I really focusing on to help retain? You don't have to. I'm just like trying to get the picture of like how we're really trying to retain these people. And I just think of a forklift driver. I work very closely with forklift drivers. They often just want to pick goods, and that's what they want to do.
Some do. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
some do,
No,
some don't. Yeah.
Didn't mean to. We actually have a lot of forklift drivers who started off at forklift drivers and now are in either batching or now are either in packaging. The reason there's a little bit more wage progression in these careers, so forklift driver is more of an entry point into DrinkPack. Not to say that
Okay.
that's the only entry point, but it's
But it
probably
allows them to
the easier-
adventure.
Correct. And so with this visualization that we have with our career paths, you can enter in one department or one vertical, but then you have opportunities and growth to go into another one. So you're going to have exposure into these different careers. You have exposure into these different departments where you can go and shadow, which is obviously not included in ETP, but we're going to give you the opportunity to have some hands-on technical training and get exposure in that, whether that's on a day off or potentially we can, give you some opportunities for training when you're on shift. There's going to be plenty of opportunities to do that. We don't want to limit folks. We want to have open opportunities for individuals as they so choose and really write their own story with DrinkPack as we continue to grow.
You just said something that piqued my interest, and I have no idea where policy is on this. You said about if it was their day off. Are you paying employees during their time of training, so you'll pay the overtime if they want to do it on their day off? training?
Absolutely.
Okay. Just wanted to double check because that was ringing up a different bell
Oh, yeah, no,
completely in my head, and I'm like, okay, that's another avenue I do not want to open up. But yeah, okay. Any other questions from anyone else?
Can I ask staff, how often is the turnover rate information from companies provided to staff during the process, during the period of performance?
During the period of the contract itself, we do not collect the information during the contract itself unless, in this case, and please excuse me, panel, I failed to mention this in my presentation. You may choose to accept the 20% turnover rate or not. We would collect the turnover rate during the term if, as our regs allow, you implement basically a trigger rate. So you can say DrinkPack must be at 20% within the last 12 months of their period. And then in that case, we would collect it. But we don't as a part of our enrollment information standard for our contracts.
Is it spelled out in the regs that that trigger rate is at the 20%?
It is not. That is up to panel.
Trigger rate is up to our discretion,
yeah.
correct? It can be lower than 20 if we said, but it-
So the only stipulation in the regulations is that it's with the, the turnover rate is within the 12-month period preceding the termination of the contract. If the company exceeds the rate that panel implements, then we would reduce the contract by 25%. So a bit of a penalty.
I appreciate all your answers to the questions, and we need more manufacturing in California, so incredibly supportive of it. I think in a case like this, I would be intrigued as to how can ETP staff and panel partner with you along this journey, right? You clearly have implemented new policies in that space. For me, I wonder if there's an opportunity to implement the trigger rate at like 15%. Or something along those lines, and request a quarterly update, because rather than getting to the trigger rate, if in Q1 or then in Q2 you start inching up, let's have a conversation about what we can do to help you make sure that doesn't get any higher so that we're not hitting that trigger rate. But giving us the trigger rate as the tool, but then incentivizing ourselves to have a bit of a relationship ongoing to make sure that if it starts to creep up in a significant way, we're not surprised, right?
we have some contracts that we closely, I'm going to say Studio Arts, because that's the one that we all know well around, where we do monitor quite closely. And we do monitor it
Yeah.
because of some past practices there, but it is something that we did as a panel say we want to monitor more closely. Gretchen, I can see you have your hand up.
Well, Derek stole a lot of my thought process. But
I think he wants us to go down this path, and I'm like, I get where he's going. I just want to
and
double
I
check.
did too. So
Yeah.
and that's where I was going to go, is I wanted to
Yeah.
implement trigger rate and just make sure that we're in good practice and good partnership. We're in this together, but I do want to see implemented the trigger rate at 15% or lower by the end of the contract with these quarterly updates. So
Mhm.
I'm prepared to make a motion if we're all ready.
Anyone else have a feel on the percentage?
Just so I just want to make sure we're all clear. Our regs require the trigger rate within the last 12 months of the term of the contract. Now, to panel member Kirk and panel member Newsom's point, we can collect the 12-month turnover rate quarterly throughout the term of the contract. We can implement that with our project management team, no problem. And I'm hearing, it sounds like you all can talk about the rate, but just so you know, when it comes to the penalty, that will be assessed within the last 12 months of the contract. But the quarterly check-ins will allow us to ensure that DrinkPack is aligned with panel's requests.
So what I'm kind of hearing is you've got your turnover at the end of the last 12 months that will say be 15%, or a trigger will go into a reduction in funding based on that, on the 25%. And that prior to that, staff would do a quarterly monitoring just to see where's going, if we're looking like we're having issues with turnover, et cetera, to be
Yeah,
able to pull back up by that
Sorry,
time.
so theoretically, they could hit over 15% in the first part of the contract.
Correct.
But then
And-
as long as they came back down in the last 12
Yeah.
months, they wouldn't be
And
penalized.
exactly. So per our regulations, we would go back from the term end date of the contract, 12 months. We would look at that time period. As an aside, our standard turnover rate for contracts is the last calendar year. So this is a little bit outside of our norm. But yeah, thank you, panel member Kirk, for that, because that is kind of the point I'm getting at, is if they're at 16% in 6 months, but then within the last 12 months of the contract, they're at 13, then we would not implement the trigger rate at that point in time. But certainly, our staff can be closely involved with DrinkPack as partners moving forward.
Any other questions, comments? We're good with 15. I'm hearing 15 feels where people are feeling right. Gretchen?
Yes.
Okay.
I move a motion to approve DrinkPack LLC in an ETP funding amount of $200,680 with the notion that we are going to implement a trigger rate where their turnover rate must be 15% or lower. If not at the end of their contract, then they will have a reduction in funding of 25%
Can I just ask, do you
with
want all-
quarterly check-ins.
There we go. That's what I wanted to check. Okay.
Second.
Second, yeah.
Jules seconds there. All right. Any public comment on this proposal? I'm not seeing any in the room. No.
No public comments online.
Thank you. So we will move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk,
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Aye, and now I have to depart shortly. Apologies.
All
Congratulations.
right. Thanks, Gretchen. All right. So we were all in favor. So the motion is adopted with the criteria of it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
You're
panel
welcome.
members. Thank you.
All right, folks, we're happy about that one.
Mhm.
Panel members, tab 4, Home Express Delivery Service, Inc., DBA Temco has withdrawn from panel and will attend a future panel meeting. We are moving to tab 5, D&D Laser Screed, Inc. They are a new contractor requesting $112,000 to train a total of 80 workers. Training will take place at their location in Riverside County, and representatives are here to answer any questions that panel members may have.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alan Hickerson. Can you hear me okay? All right. I'm Alan Hickerson, Vice President of D&D Laser Screed. I started there 20 years ago as a entry-level ground worker out in the field, and throughout that time, the company's given me the support and stuff that I needed to grow in my career there. And so in doing that, I'm here looking to do the same thing for the team that I'm leading at this time. I truly appreciate your guys' support for allowing us to be here today, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have.
All right. Thank you. Any questions, comments from anyone?
I have a quick question. How did you, being a first-time contractor, how did you hear about ETP?
Through another contractor I was working with. And, we were looking for ways to continue training internally and, the struggles that come along with that, with funding and stuff like that. And he had given me some advice, and so I chased it.
It's the best way to do it. Word of mouth is the best way. All right. Any other questions, comments? I was about to say Gretchen, but she's not there any longer. So I will go back to, I only have the room now. I haven't got to look at the screen as well. All right. Do we have a motion?
I move that the panel approve D&D Laser Screed, Inc. In the proposed funding amount of $112,000.
Do we need the contract number
Oh.
in that motion? Sorry. We have it. Okay, we're good. Okay, just checking, because usually I have contract number as well. Okay.
That was my first motion, by the way.
I'm being hard on you.
Felt
and I
very insecure there with the question.
Both of you were going at the same time, and Jennifer was just about to, and you got in. I just literally saw her go, and he was just slightly quicker. So I'm gonna give her a hard. But I love it. Okay.
Did you say 250,000?
I might mess up a little bit. But maybe not
You
that
got
much.
it. We didn't give you the hard one. All right. Do I have a second on Derek's first motion?
Second.
Second. Fantastic. Any public comment? Oh, Kamani.
Did we announce the contract number in that motion?
I don't think you did. No, that's what
No,
stopped me. And then
but-
he said, I'm giving him a
But
hard
my
time.
understanding is, since it is the only name of that contractor, we already have that information. So that is a precedent that we have, but since it's the only D&D Laser Screed Incorporated here, we already have that information internally. Do we have to? I defer to you, Chief Counsel.
Yeah.
I think for a clean record, let's
All right.
make the motion.
Take the first
redo.
round.
My
Dude, now you get it perfect for me.
I move approval of the D&D Laser Screed, Inc. contract number ET 26-0104 in the amount of $112,000.
Then do I get a
Second.
second? Thank you. Well done, Derek. Okay. And do I get any public comment online?
No public comments online.
And I'm not seeing any public comment in the room, so we'll move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right. So the motion's adopted. You're funded. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
This is a very active meeting. We have claps. Look,
Because
panel
we just
member
haven't
Kirk-
been together for more weeks.
Panel member Kirk got it wrong and he still got a round of
I know.
applause. So, I mean,
First
this
time
is,
it's first time of blues, okay?
It's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
it's also Spirit Day at daycare, so maybe we just, you know,
Could be,
up a
yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, I'm going home
This,
to no
uh,
kids, so I think that's quite good. Well, except for one.
it's Spirit Day at the panel today. I don't know what's going on. Everyone's
This is what
happy,
happens when
excited.
we're not together for one
Yeah,
panel
yeah,
meeting. We
yeah.
have to share the love instead once a month.
We're all happy to be here. All right, panel, please turn to tab 6, GBC Concrete and Masonry Construction, Inc. They are a new contractor requesting $196,000 to train a total of 175 workers. And training will take place at their location in Riverside County. Representatives are here to answer any questions. And please note, there is a correction on this proposal. Training funding source in Seal Beach will be both the administrative and the development subcontractor. That was an error on the proposal that has been since corrected.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, panel. My name is Lonnie Harrell, GBC Concrete and Masonry Construction. I'm the VP of Operations. And GBC Concrete and Masonry, we cover a wide variety of commercial and industrial concrete and masonry projects in the Southern California area. And I thank you all for favorably supporting our proposal to train our workforce to become more productive and safer. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
You're gonna do some, or
I can be Gretchen if you'd like, but I'm not quite sure.
supposed to come back?
She's not going to for a while, so
Okay.
yeah. She may come back, I don't know, but she had to step out yet.
Got it.
I can be Gretchen if you really want. I don't know if I can channel her though, but I can try. Any questions or comments? No? Do I have a motion?
I move to approve GBC Concrete and Masonry Construction, Inc., ETP contract ET 26-0108 in funding amount of $196,000.
Second.
Thank you. Any public comment? No, none in the room. Any online?
No public comments online.
All right, so we shall move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right, so I forget, I don't have Gretchen here. So we are all in favor, so the motion is adopted. You know when you're just ready for that motion? Yep.
Thank you.
You're perpendicular.
The claps are killing you.
I'm just going to say, Jennifer, that was beautifully eloquent in your articulation.
I was going to say, is that also your first time?
That was my first one.
Yes.
Yes.
I like all the clapping. I'm
I
feeling
know.
like good vibes today.
Yeah.
It really is Spirit Week here
It
today,
is.
I guess.
To be. We're there.
All right, let's move along. We are on tab 7, Hawthorne Machinery Co. They are a new contractor requesting $249,288 to train a total of 221 workers, and training will take place at their locations in San Diego County, and representatives are here to answer any questions.
Good morning, panel. By the way, I love the drive and the enthusiasm and the competition that's going on. So, my name is Juan Ortega. I'm actually the service manager with Hawthorne Machinery in San Diego. Actually, Hawthorne's been founded since 1956, headquartered in San Diego. Hawthorne Machinery is a regional equipment merchant wholesaler offering sales, rentals, parts, and service for Caterpillar construction and power equipment. The company supports a wide range of industries, including construction, government, mining, agricultural, and rental operations. So this is our first project, and we're excited to be here. So,
Fantastic.
and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. We're excited for first-time contractors. Does anyone have questions? I have one little one because it's Productive Lab, and I look at the curriculum list quite often. And I'm always curious about Productive Lab because we're very protective over that bucket of funding.
Sure.
Your curriculum titles are very, I'm going to call them vague, which is okay because we see that. But can you give me some examples of the types of training they're going to be doing under that commercial skills, like say standard operating procedures or heavy equipment that is Productive Lab, the type of thing they'll be doing?
Sure. So typically the Productive Lab takes place at our customer sites. So we would have a manager assigned to a technician. So when they're at the job sites repairing equipment, the manager will instruct or show essentially the employee how to perform the repair, and then the employee would perform the repair there under the manager's supervision.
So it's taking two people to do the work versus one? Or three people
That's
to do the
not
work
not
versus?
necessarily. It could be just the one job for the technician, just the managers there to mentor and help develop basically those skills and get real life exposure to that repair, if you will.
Does that fall under the definition of productive lab go? Sorry, because it sounded like they are being trained, but then they're on their own after that? Or is it truly doing the job of two people doing the job of one?
Correct. Yeah, that's
It's-
would basically be how it works. So
So it is more the two people doing the job of one than
Correct.
showing and then them disappearing and they're continuing.
correct.
Okay, just checking, because that's the big piece about productive lab, is it's taking up that component of you're still doing the work whilst you're being trained, you're not being left unsupervised and that
Correct.
kind of piece, like you're working alongside. Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, comments?
Motion to
turn.
approve. Oh, are you gonna-
My
Go ahead.
turn, we're going down.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to the line.
So a motion to approve Hawthorne Machinery Company, ETP or ET 26-0103 in the amount of $249,288.
Second.
This is getting good. All right. Do we have any public comment online?
There are no public comments online.
And it looks like there's no public comment in the room. So we shall move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Bancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right. So we are all in alignment. We all voted to, you are funded.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Was that like, I think, no, that wasn't Mike's first, was it? It was your first today, but not your first like ever. No, the other two was like foundational firsts, which are
Right.
fantastic. All right. We are now going to the next. Keep me in
If
check.
only it was like this every month.
I
This is so
know.
fun. I'm
Are we
loving
in
this.
I'm not
Next-
letting them organize
Next
themselves.
thing you know, I'm going to get up and try and do stand-up comedy or,
we could
my
ask
ego,
that.
my
We
ego.
we could be asking, careful what you ask for.
Don't ask for that.
Yeah. Careful
We
what
are
you
on
volunteer.
tab 8, Integrated Microwave Corporation, DBA Knowles Electronics LLC, Knowles Precision Devices. They are a new contractor requesting $276,360 to train a total of 282 workers. And training will take place in San Diego and LA County. Representatives are here to answer any questions.
Hi, my name, can you hear me? No? There? Testing, testing. I'm gonna do comedy. Here?
I can
Better?
hear you. Yeah.
Better? Okay.
It's whether online is okay. Is online okay? Okay.
Okay, so good morning. My name is Andrea Schaefer, and I'm with Knowles. We have facilities in multiple sites in the U.S., but for this ETP program, we are requesting for our Valencia and San Diego site. We manufacture high-resistance ceramic capacitors in Valencia. They go into defense, medical, different industries. And in San Diego, we mostly serve defense. So it's microwaves, radio frequency boards. We have about 300 employees, and this will be our first program for Knowles.
All right. Thank you. Any questions, comments from panel on the proposal?
Motion
Give
to
me this
approve Integrated Microwave Corporation, DBA Knowles Electronics, LLC Knowles Precision Devices, contract number ET 26-0105, in the amount of $276,360.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment online
There are no public comments online.
and any public comment in the room? Doesn't look like the people coming in would. I'm like looking at the people I might know. Michelle won't and Phil won't and Rob won't. So we're okay. Looks like no public comments. So we shall move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Bancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right. So we were all in favor. The motion's adopted and you're funded. Good luck with it.
Thank you
That
so
that was
much.
my first time.
Oh, maybe getting all the information.
Back to panel member Smiles. Please turn to tab 9. This is a proposal for Pyramid LQR Management LP, DBA, La Quinta Resort and Club. They are a new contractor requesting $498,036 to train a total of 539 workers, and training will take place at their location in Riverside County. Representatives are available for questions.
Good morning. My name is Christina Del Castillo. I'm the Director of Human Resources at La Quinta Resort and Club. I'm very excited to be here. This proposal covers La Quinta Resort and Club in the Coachella Valley in Riverside, California, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from panel?
I do have a quick question. Turnover rate is at 12%, so a little bit higher than anything at 10. I usually ask some questions. I did do a little bit of research, and for the industry that you're in, it looks like it's about 12 to 13, 14%, 15% turnover. So you are on the lower end. So I want to commend you for that. So my question to you is, can you expand a little bit on what you as management plan to do to continue to keep that turnover rate lower, if not lowering, what your plans are?
Absolutely. So during the pandemic, the hotel closed, as you know, so it was 100% turnover. At the resort, we have many employees that have been there for 20, 30 years. Families continue to come and work at the resort, and we will continue with our processes that we've always had, right? A family, a great environment to have, the best workplace in the Coachella Valley. So as we revamped post-pandemic, everybody came back to work, and we will continue to see the reduction in our turnover. We never had such a large turnover until the pandemic hit.
Of course.
And so we're recovering from that, but we will continue to recover in a positive way.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, one question. It's regarding your retention wage, 2356. I'm just curious if there are employees that work for your company that will not reach that level. And if so, how many would not be included in this contract?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so it related to your post-retention wage of 2356. I'm just curious if you have employees that you can't include in this contract because they wouldn't reach that wage.
I would say no. We have our wages are very competitive. We make sure that we do wage surveys yearly to ensure that we stay at the top of the competition and make sure that we're paying our employees fair, if not wonderful wages. So I would say no, we should be able to have most of our employees at that rate.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve Pyramid LQR Management LP, DBA La Quinta Resort and Club, contract number ET 26-0106, in the amount of $498,036.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment on this proposal?
There are no public comments online.
Like as Stefan looks around the room as well. There's none in the room by the looks of it, so we will move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right, so we are all in favor, so the motion's adopted and you're funded. Good
Thank
luck.
you so much. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. Yay.
Good morning, panel members. We'll move to tab 10. Tab 10 is a proposal from KLA Corporation, doing business as KLA. They are a repeat contractor with good prior performance, requesting $599,760 to train 357 workers. Training will take place at their headquarters location in Milpitas, and representatives from KLA are here to answer any questions.
Good morning, panel. My name is Ross Battaglia. I am the Senior Director of Learning and Knowledge Services at KLA, and I'd like to thank the panel for giving me the opportunity to represent KLA today in our proposal. For over 40 years, KLA has been at the forefront of developing advanced inspection metrology and analytic systems that are empowering the semiconductor industry. Our technologies have been enabled breakthroughs in chip manufacturing, supporting innovations in artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, 5G communications, and more. The technological advancements are only made possible by our investment in our people. We are deeply committed to hiring, training, and most importantly, retaining a highly skilled workforce that can keep pace with the rapid evolution of the industry. At our Milpitas headquarters and across our global operations, we've implemented a blended learning strategy. This includes instructor-led courses, hands-on training, immersive technologies, digital twin environments, and AI-enhanced knowledge systems. Together, these tools equip our employees with the expertise needed to develop cutting-edge technologies and support our customers effectively. We are proud of the outcomes achieved through previous ETP contracts and greatly value our ongoing partnership with the state of California. These investments have helped us build a world-class workforce and strengthen our presence in California. Thank you for your time, and I welcome any questions.
Thank you. Does the panel have questions or comments? Oh, very quiet.
Motion to approve KLA Corporation DBA KLA, contract number ET 26-013 in the amount of $599,760.
I believe that was 0113.
Yes.
Did I not say it correctly? Oh, sorry.
Did we need to restate the entire motion?
Just restate that.
Yep, so I need the motion upped to redoing the entire motion to make sure it's accurate.
Okay.
That's what I'm being told.
So motion to approve KLA Corporation DBA KLA, contract number ET 26-0113 in the amount of $599,760.
Second.
Thank you. Any public comments on this proposal?
There are no public comments online.
And there look like there are none in the room, so we shall move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right, so we are all in favor. The motion is adopted and you are funded.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Love the applause. We want to thank Nomura Sokwa in the Bay Area office for all the great work. Thank you.
Okay, next up is tab 11. This is a proposal from Northrop Grumman Systems Corporation. They are a repeat contractor with good prior performance, requesting $490,760 to train 438 workers. Training will take place at their 22 locations throughout California, and representatives from Northrop Grumman are here to answer any questions.
Good morning. Ms. Chair and members of the panel, I am Cecilia Dillard, Manager of Project Management for Manufacturing Affordability, and with me today is Director of Operations, Robert Hunter. I'd like to thank Nicole Crancer from ETP for her valuable assistance in preparing the ETP proposal and our training funding partners as well. We appreciate the opportunity to present our proposal and want to begin with thanking the panel for its past support in supporting our workforce. The training funding through previous ETP contracts has been instrumental in helping us upskill our workforce, adopt new technologies, and maintain California's leadership in aerospace and defense innovation. Northrop Grumman is a leading global aerospace and defense company with a strong presence in California, employing thousands of highly skilled workers across the state. The ETP project is a critical part of our ongoing investment into California's workforce. Through this project, we aim to strengthen job retention, support the adoption of emerging technologies, support advanced manufacturing, and ensure our workforce remains competitive in an evolving defense industry. We are committed to delivering high-wage, high-skilled jobs in California, and we really appreciate your consideration today. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Does the panel have any questions or comments on the proposal? No.
I don't have any questions. I just want to acknowledge, I don't think there's a lot of conversation happening across the country right now about the industrial base in the United States. And I think a lot of people forget that California plays such a significant role in that work, largely because of companies like Northrop Grumman. And so, thank you for your continued commitment to California. You guys have long been really fabulous partners of ours. And I think, given things like your wages and turnover rate, how low it is, a testament to how much of a partner you are with the communities you serve and with your workers. If there are no questions, I'll make the motion.
I'll let you make the
All
motion.
right.
I don't think anyone's got questions. They looked at me blankly before.
All right.
So
I move approval for Northrop Grumman Systems Corporation, ETP contract number ET26-0111 in the amount of $490,560.
Second.
Thank you. Any public comments on this proposal? I'm not seeing anyone running up to the podium at the moment in here, so I would say there's none in the room.
There are no public comments online.
All right, so we will move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right, so we are all in favor. The motion's adopted and you're funded.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, next up is tab 12. This is a proposal from Organic by Nature, Inc. They are also a repeat contractor with good prior performance, requesting $132,720 to train 79 workers. Training will take place at their headquarters location in Rancho Dominguez, and representatives from Organic by Nature are here to answer any questions.
Hi, good morning. My name is Diana Rosas. I'm the HR manager at Organic by Nature, and I want to thank you for our previous proposal, and I think we had a really good, successful last program, so thank you for that.
You're welcome. Any questions? I have one, but I'm just wondering if anyone has any questions or comments. You had that magic line in your application that talks about it will either build or it's not going to duplicate training. So I just wondered how you're growing the lean manufacturing initiative. So the prior one focused on lean manufacturing. The curriculum is very loose, which is okay. And I'm just curious what you're doing from the efforts from last time into the new, so we're not duplicatively training, say, the same topics from last time.
Absolutely. So I think the core topics do remain consistent. And that is a little bit of intentional and strategic, just to make sure that we are, our foundational skills are being reinforced. This is to make sure that we can maintain quality, the safety, and the operational efficiency all throughout our operations.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions, comments?
Motion to approve Organic by Nature, Inc., contract number ET 26-0102 in the amount of $132,720.
Second.
Thank you. Any public comment?
There are no public comments online.
And there's no one in the room, so we will move to vote, please.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right, so we are all in favor, so the motion is adopted.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, next
You,
up is.
can I just
oh,
say you started the claps, and so
I
you
know,
have
it's
to
getting
finish them
softer.
all the way through. I know. I'm just.
Sorry.
We've got only a handful left.
Didn't you know that's the problem when we start, and then we got to keep going.
It's definitely getting softer as we go. Yeah. Okay, next up is tab 13. This is a proposal from Teeter Inc. They are a repeat contractor with good prior performance, requesting $98,000 to train 100 workers. Training will take place at their 4 locations in Fresno, Kern, Stanislaus, and Tulare counties, and representatives from Teeter are here to answer any questions.
Hello and good morning, panel members. My name is Brittany Armstrong, and I am the Senior HR Generalist for Teeter Inc. I would like to take a moment to thank all of you for your consideration and time reviewing our proposal and in this panel meeting today, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions? I just have one, and we look at this quite often around prior. We came in at 83% last time. We're coming in slightly lower in your total amount that you're after this time round. But what are you doing in place to try and get that up? We like 100%. I like businesses getting 100% because it means we're really securing and being successful. So I'm just curious, what, if anything, is being done to help sort of make learnings from last time to be even more successful next time?
Certainly, yeah. We also like 100%. So in our last contract, we did experience a little bit of the aftermath and effects, if you will, of the COVID-19 pandemic. We had adjusted to employees working hybrid to 100% remote, and so the delivery and the scheduling of training just really took a hit during that. We also had a little bit of loss of training hours that we could count really towards it because we had some voluntary staff departures. We also had some staff move out of state during the time of the contract. So we lost a little bit due to things kind of outside of our control. But in the effort to move forward, we have established a larger and stronger team to help with all aspects of the training, scheduling, facilitating, delivering. And that's our plan to move forward. We have a good plan to progress.
Fantastic. Thank you. I know that feeling of those remote ones wanting to move out of state and then, yeah, doesn't help anyone on the contract.
Yeah.
All right. The joys of virtual instructor led, and then they've moved out of state, and you're like, I was counting on that individual. Yeah.
And they love to tell us they're never coming back. So
It means, no, I don't mean that. Okay. Any other questions, comments?
Motion to approve Teeter Inc., contract number ET 26-0112 in the amount of $98,000.
Second.
Thank you. Any public comment?
There are no public comments online.
And we have none in the room, so we will move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right, so we are all in favor. The motion's adopted and you're funded.
thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to take a break. Before we go into MEX, we're going to take a 10-minute break and then come back. So I think we're right on 11 o'clock. I'm pretty impressed. I got a round number. So we'll be back at 11:10. All right. Alrighty. I love that recording in progress because it makes everyone just quiet and back down and I don't have to do much. Okay, we are, I believe, back. I have full panel. I have to remember there's 5 of us and we will move back to staff for the remaining proposals.
I'm ready.
Alrighty.
We're on tab 14, Central California Builders Exchange. They are a repeat contractor with good prior performance, requesting $293,510 to train 245 workers. And training will take place throughout California, but specifically in the Central Valley, including locations such as Fresno, Madera, Merced, Stanislaus, Mariposa, etc. Representatives from California Builders Exchange are here to answer any questions.
All right, thank you.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Taylor. I'm the office manager for the Central California Builders Exchange. I'm excited to be here requesting funding for our 3rd contract, which will be expanding to manufacturing this time. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from anyone on this proposal?
Okay, why don't I ask something?
Go ahead.
In your proposal, it says that your turnover rate is equal to or less than 20%, but you're not specifying exactly what it is. So I was curious if you can enlighten us on what it currently is.
Yeah, so sorry, Jason Arvizi with the Kern County Builders Exchange, the sister nonprofit on south end of the valley. So we support and coordinate the ETP contracts amongst the exchanges. And so the reason for me stepping in to answer this question, just to clarify, so as a multi-employer contract.
Sure, if I may jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's okay. With the multiple employer contracts, because they are serving many employers, that is, we just put 20% in as staff, saying that the companies that they serve will be at or below 20% turnover rate. We do check that during our project monitoring. So we verify that as a part of our process.
Forgive me, I forgot we
It's okay.
switched to
No.
MEC, so.
Yep, it's, we are on MEX now.
Clean sweep from like single to MEX, but
I did not announce that. We did not announce that.
Sorry, it was in my head. I guess I do have a question. You said something about manufacturing. I'm scrolling through. So are you guys switching to actually supporting the manufacturing workforce or the construction side of manufacturing?
The construction side.
Okay. So building the new facilities, et cetera, not the actual manufacturing worker.
Well, yes, both the manufacturing worker and the construction side of it. We have members of the exchange that are both.
Okay. So it catches me with the name of the company and then that manufacturing piece. So I just wanted to make sure I was clear on that. All right. Any other questions, comments?
Motion to approve Central California Builders Exchange contract number ET 26-0109 in the amount of $293,510.
Second.
Thank you. Any public comment?
No public comments online.
All right, and there's none in the room, so we will move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Dirk Kirk.
Aye.
All right, so we are all in favor. The motion's adopted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Claps are dwindling, but they are here.
The room's dwindling. It's that time of day. The energy kind of dwindles sometimes, but the room's dwindling.
I would
as
clap,
well.
but we're neutral as ET.
I know.
Okay, we're on tab 15, South Modesto Business United, Inc. They are a new contractor requesting $416,067 in funding to train 331 workers. And training will take place in Fresno, Kern, San Diego, San Joaquin, and Stanislaus counties. Representatives are here for any questions.
Good morning.
Hi, Tony Madrigal here, Executive Director for South Modesto Business United. We're excited about this opportunity, and we're here to answer any questions. And I was one of the clappers.
We appreciate that. All right. Any questions from anyone? So this is where it's hard. This is my area of town where I live, work. Modesto is home to me. When I was reading this proposal, it was confusing me slightly, and you guys can help me unconfuse myself. So it's talking about the South Modesto Chamber really working in the Crow's Landing area. I know Crow's Landing Road well. I used to work off Crow's Landing in G3's buildings, and know the regeneration that we've been doing in that region. So when I read this, I read that there are people being trained pretty much all over the state in different, mainly Central Valley, but a few not. But the proposal reads that the investment is going into the Crow's Landing Road, or the Crow's Landing kind of piece of regenerating that part of South Modesto. Even the Modesto employers are not based on that location. So I was just wanting a bit more clarity because I feel like it's a bit piecemeal, but not quite clear, if that makes sense.
So our employers are people that we've developed relationships with over the years. A lot of them, whether they've been sponsors of some of our cultural events. Because just to give you a tiny bit of background, we started in 2010, and our thing was, let's do free cultural community events, preserve the culture in the community. That morphed into, fast forward to now, we have 5 major cultural events that attract thousands of people. That means we also attract a lot of sponsors, a lot of relationships. A lot of our employers also have relationships, and they also, it's almost like being a parent selling Girl Scout cookies. I don't want to minimize it to that, but we tap into our networks, and a lot of our networks, these are most of them are small business employers. Some are medium sized, so they tap into their networks. For example, our board president, he has a radio station, and so he has, a big network. We tap into some of those, list them, and included them in the application, especially because some of those do fall in those high unemployment area counties and or the industries that, we're targeting, such as construction, for example.
I think, and guys, you can correct me here. I think the focus of the application and how it was written might need to refocus in future, because it was very written about developing the South Modesto and the Crow's Landing Road. And I know it's got one of the best flea markets. If anyone on a Sunday wants to go to El Ramito, or on a Friday night, there's a lot of stuff that goes down there. And I know there's a lot of community events there. When I read the proposal, it sounds like we're putting that money into training and growing that area. It's more about growing that area from a community perspective, but you're using this as more of a, I'm not going to say a thank you, but a resource to the sponsors to, hey, we have a way of providing funding for you for training, being that multiple employer contract. Is that a fairer statement of what you guys are doing with it?
I guess a lot of it, I wouldn't say it's a thank you, but it is based on relationships. Like we have just to give you an example of a resource that we've brought to the community, to some of these employees that otherwise would not have known about this. When the county was offering $25,000 pandemic relief funding to
Yep.
small businesses, we specifically trained and hired application navigators. They helped over 51 local businesses that had no clue how to apply. A lot of hand holding, a lot of like, let me see your W-2s, all that. And I'm proud to share that out of those 51, it resulted in over $1.2 million in funding to small businesses that otherwise wouldn't have gotten. That's the type of, relationships that we have. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've become, in the community with our free culture events, we've become trusted messengers. Our events have become safe spaces. And that translates into us becoming trusted messengers with the employers. And so I would say that's my answer to, why is it that, our application has the employers that it has. It's just, I'm just going to say, this is another state resource that when I talk to our employers about, did you know that there's ETP? I have no idea what that is. Because like
It's
a lot of
little
employers,
unknown secret at times, well-known secret at times, but unknown as well.
yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of employers, they're just like, look, I keep my business open, keep my payroll, weather the pandemic or whatever,
Yeah, I would just say coming back just to tighten it to, it's not about reinventing the Crow's Landing Road if you're doing it again, but it's more about the businesses you're supporting and growing that Latino community within, because that's very much like, when I look at it, it's a very equitable, really focusing on equity, bringing in a lot of small businesses, which is great. It just didn't read that way. It read we were investing into Crow's Landing. And there's some good places along Crow's Landing.
Oh, it's.
I used to be at a Rancho Fresca every week because before they moved downtown because it was the best tacos in town. It was right down the road from the office and then the driving range everyone else would be. So
We'll tell you, they still have the.
they do. They still have someone else there, but
Yeah, somebody else bought it, so it's still there.
I just don't like the tire issues going down Crow's Landing and the pothole. You go through a lot of tires driving down Crow's Landing in Modesto because it's got lots of potholes. It's not good. We get there though. Okay.
Madam Chair, can I ask?
Yeah.
I was in Stanislaus County on Wednesday. Love the community.
You didn't tell me?
I didn't.
No.
My apologies for that. I have some concerns about the capacity of your organization to administer. As I have seen and done some research through as a nonprofit organization, the 990s that you submit, the organization operates in a really, really lean capacity, at least in the last couple of years. The most recent ones are not published online at this point. But to take on a contract of this size makes me a little nervous. And I wonder, I think in line with the chair's questions, is there a chance to maybe scale this back a little bit and pull the non-Stanislaus County projects and businesses out and say, let's collaborate on the development of real training targeted in Stanislaus, in Crow's Landing, right? And try this with each other to see if you all can actually have the capacity to do this and how do you build that out versus I think I get a little bit nervous that, 2 years from now, we're going to have a conversation about how much we're recapturing on it because 416,000 is a lot.
To Doug's point, when I read it, I felt like it was also to an awful lot of occupations and industry sectors. And maybe there's one or two ways of we could say, maybe we adjust funding or look at tightening the eye to, we're really looking at investing in these areas for our partners or the geographic. I think I would consider those kind of things as the way to think about it. It just, to me, read, we're going down Crow's Landing, but we've got every occupation under the sun and every sector, which doesn't always. So I think to me, it's like tightening. Yeah. I don't know.
If I may, I understand your concern. As far as our capacity, we have a team, we have an admin team, but more importantly, just coming back to our relationships, we know how to reach our employers. We know how to reach, the staff of the employers. We did it when we navigated, over 51 applications for pandemic relief. And, the number of back and forth and knowing who to call to do stuff like, make sure you get your, you get your hours in, make sure you, and we're going to be obviously working closely with Lourdes, and, she's going to also help us navigate this. We feel very confident about our capacity to carry it out. As far as the footprint, whether it's statewide or if you narrow it to the Central Valley or whatnot, either way, we feel confident we'll be able to perform. But it is it is, I don't want to say big time. I'm trying to think of a better word. It is very much having to do with our relationship, knowing which employers we wanted to reach out to, that we also felt confident we're also going to be able to perform in those industries, with this application.
Anyone else have any questions, comments? Derek, I'm going to pass it back to you in a minute, if not.
Would you feel more comfortable if we did a check-in type to ensure the success of the partnership?
Done that way. Or right sizes.
Or right size, yes.
It's a very big, I look at this and I'm like, it's a very big geographic region for a smallish organization, but also a very big number of industry sectors.
Yeah.
It's always hard on first timers when it's like community-based organizations versus, community college that's set up for this, and this is the first time coming into contract. What I will say, and I will preface this, is if you're successful coming back in, once you close out, you can come right back in again. There isn't that time for, and I think we see proposals if you don't perform, and I've seen some locally, I will say, that have not performed as well. And that's what you get right sized down to.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time to build back up, and panels trust is what I'm going to say there. So
May I
Yeah.
interject? Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to share some examples of some of our performance with other state grants that we received. We received a CalSTART grant for, I think it was like 98,000 or no, it was a $100,000 grant to do a community transportation needs assessment. And we were successfully able to perform, complete the transportation needs assessment. And again, about relationships, one of the things, what we did is we focused on our strength, which is that we're a trusted messenger in the community. And so, I mean, I'm sure you may have had experience with trying to get a regular member of the community to fill out this 70 question survey about your preferences for EV cars or for, regular transportation. But we did it. And we did it because the people that come to our events, they trust us, they know us. And that's one example where we successfully executed. We received another grant for $160,000 from the California Arts Council. And that grant was to basically create jobs for artists. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that California Arts Council grant. We performed, we executed, we delivered. And again, I think it speaks to our capacity. One of the things in my role as executive director that I've been in this position now for a couple of years is I've sort of been educating this organization to think beyond, hey, we just put on free events for the community, to say, well, we have this reach, we have this trust, we create these safe spaces. What else is out there that we can tap into for funding to meet the grant needs, but also to help build our organization? Because it is the people, and then the employers that employ those people within this neighborhood. And we realize we're not just South Modesto. We have a broad network where, for example, El Rematito, big flea market, the owners serve on our board of directors. And as you can imagine, they have a lot of vendors that serve them. And they're an example of how they also have these relationships with vendors that then become sponsors and supporters, because they also see that, they depend on the South Modesto economy.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'll stop there. It's
Jessica, did you have something?
No, I appreciate that 100%. I used to run a trade organization, and I appreciate the network and the capacity that you build in a role like yours and in an organization like yours. I think that those comments to me, I think, embolden my feeling that we should help you scale this to the region, right? Like that you are serving the kind of greater Modesto area and pulling some of those other
Further afield.
yes, further afield places and companies out of this. I mean, even Bakersfield. I grew up in Porterville, so I can do the math, right? Even Bakersfield feels a little far on some of that. So and with respect to the the 100,000 on the zero emission vehicle, the 160 on the Arts Council, both great organizations, and glad that you were able to perform on those contracts to go from 160,000 to 416,000 on what can be, no disrespect to staff, sometimes a complex process, right? To manage reporting, I think makes me a little nervous. And I think to the chair's point, I would rather us start with a smaller amount so that we can continue to build up over time and keep investing in the Modesto area versus next time potentially finding ourselves in a scenario where we have to penalize isn't the right word, but we have to penalize a little bit, right? And we have to start the trust over. I don't know what the answer is
No, I don't know
exactly
what
to that.
quite the
but-
answer is. I was going to look
So,
it up as well. Go ahead.
If I may, in the past, we do have precedent for basically two options. One is, of course, you can right size. My understanding is that in the development of this proposal, we know for the cap for MEX is 850,000, and it was advised that this similar concerns were raised that it might needed to be a little constrained, right? So the 416,000 was there. We do have the project management teams in our 4 regional offices that do kind of handhold and shepherd. And so that is a part of the process that we've kind of re-upped since June of last year. So that's one piece. So Studio Arts, there was a proposal that was put forward where there was an ask for 6-month coming back, providing information about how the performance was going. And that can be a part of the proposal. And then, of course, I think what you're also implying is a potential right sizing. I'm just providing options that have been mentioned in the past as something to entertain, to think about as panel members figure out what they want to do with this proposal.
I mean, selfishly, I want all the money in Modesto and the San Francisco County region and the Fresno region because that's where it's
Yeah.
home to me.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to say that. But it's like, so it's hard having these conversations
Yeah.
with regionals that, is your back door, is your backyard.
So just some information for the panel. There's the two that you're referring to, the two employers, the one in San Diego, that's not a high unemployment area. So they have a small number of employees that they're, or trainees that they're going to be including in the contract. I want to say there's about 18 and that are high wage earners because they have to be, because they're in San Diego, but they do a lot of work in the Central Valley and they have done a lot of work in the Crow's Landing corridor. So that's where the partnership comes in. The second one, the one from the Bakersfield area, they're in the film industry. There's a director, and they do a lot of the cultural training and movies and filming. And so we're partnering with them on that as well. But they only have 6 employees. So there's not very many employees. And I know we could be successful with those two if that helps in it. Clarify anything with them.
I'm also rather inclined to always get as much money as humanly possible for the Central Valley. I think
For the Central Valley, between
know.
the 3 of us along here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, seriously. But from Modesto, Tulare, and Kern County, we get a lot of fans. I mean, Madam Chair, I don't, yielding to the rest of the panel for other comments or ideas, I think I would support the 416,000 if there was a commitment, with the commitment from the organization to focus as much as humanly possible on the Modesto area, as well as a request that staff work collaboratively and provide a quarterly update to the panel. not to overburden you all, but to make sure with a relatively small organization and a new relationship between us that we're able to be successful in achieving the results. The Valley doesn't get enough as it is. And so, let's work collaboratively to do that. I think it also puts a significant burden on you to make sure that you all are performing right against this. Because I mean, I will say, I think for the third or fourth time, if this doesn't work, there will be, you won't get this again, right? Like, so that's, I think, the space that I'm at.
Yeah, I think I would go to Stanislaus County, not just Modesto, so that you have that
Sure. Yeah,
county
yeah,
area. Because
yeah.
I think you do, like, you're based in Houston, so it's
Absolutely.
not Modesto, but it's, yeah, like in that geographical region, maybe with some check-ins, I think it's very much that of like keeping it in the backyard of Stanislaus County. South Modesto could reach to like Los Banos, I guess, if you're thinking about the True Crows Landing Road area, like that corridor. But really keeping it local is really important to me when I look at this, and like the entity of what the organization is really focused on, it feels much better.
Yeah.
Anyone
We feel
else?
We feel comfortable with that sort of focus.
Okay.
And-
Countywide especially, yes.
So if I may, a couple of programmatic points. So
please.
first, we have the counties that are approved for this contract in the proposal, which are fairly contained to the Central Valley with the exception of San Diego. And it does sound like there's an existing relationship. This, I believe, will be monitored out of Jana's region, but she and I were just discussing that we can really ensure with our program teams that we are working very closely with them in order to ensure success. So hearing, what you all are saying, we kind of have a little bit of checks with the program that will kind of give you what you're asking for. And then if you want them to come to panel, we can certainly facilitate that as well.
Yeah.
There's also, there's, not to skip and throw the agenda off as the chair and I did this morning, but, there's also organizations that are doing this 10 minutes away,
Yes.
right? And 15
And there's
minutes
another
away.
few in the area as well.
That hopefully you can lean on, right? And learn from and collaborate with. I think, I think that there's a network in the Valley that can help
There's a
support it.
sizable amount going into that region.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
Panel meeting, and I think we have got to be very conscious with all that we're not duplicating, and people are, because you're going to run into the program management of it and find that they're already enrolled somewhere else. You can't use them. And I think there's multiple single employer contracts in the region as well. I think that's where the amounts make me a bit nervous, because literally we have, I can tell you, Modesto Chamber of Commerce has one. We've got another coming in a minute. So, 3 within a region of around about the same, and then multiple singles and some other mechs as well going on. It becomes quite a logistical, with only so many people in the region. So I think that's something for us to, think about. I would say, as I'm looking at this, in the wages that are in here, I would probably go with San Joaquin and Stanislaus County and keeping it in that geographical rather than the Fresno, Kern, and San Diego. I don't know if everyone else, any thoughts? Are you feeling confident? And I ask confident, it's okay to say I don't think we are, that the 416,000, if you limited it to those geographical areas, that you would be successful? Or is it something that you're like, actually, we need to go away, think about this, come back with that tighter proposal for that region and be like, yes, we are going to be successful, or no, we need to adjust? I just want to check, because you have that option as well.
No, we feel that even if you limit it to San Joaquin, Stanislaus, oh wait, you only said those two. I was going to add Merced already, but
So it's not in there at the moment.
Yeah.
Otherwise I might have put it on there,
so-
but it's
so
not.
yes,
in
but
there.
we feel confident, and I'll say this. I'll say it this way: for every chamber that's out there that may come before you or that's out there, I've had conversations with 100 businesses that say, I've never heard of the Chamber of Commerce in my city.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so I always say, there's no such thing as too many chambers,
No.
because they all have they all have relationships and they all
Yep.
have networks.
Mhm.
And I mean, there's folks that I've talked to that wanted to go start a chamber. And I said, why? There's already one here. They're like, my friends that are small business owners never heard of them. So I hope that illustrates my point. But my answer is yes. We feel confident if you say Stanislaus and San Joaquin County. I assure you, our network is vast and deep. This is, this is our proposal is this so far, but we know that we'll be able to perform.
Do we feel better on that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Looking down. All right. Does someone want to make that motion with the amendment?
So if I may interject here, you are entertaining a motion so that this proposal will only contain Stanislaus and San
In
Joaquin
San Joaquin
counties.
counties.
Okay.
And then monitoring or no monitoring?
If I may, just
Yeah.
briefly. So one of the job numbers in this proposal is for San Diego explicitly.
Yep.
We might also want to consider that typically when a MEC is developing the proposal, they are showing us the employer demand through that list that's attached to the back of the proposal, but they are also then projecting the job numbers based upon the counties they serve. I defer to you all, but if you are going to require only those two counties participate, I would suggest that maybe staff go back and rework this a bit to remove job number
so the
4
data is more
and
accurate,
refine.
reflecting on the numbers,
Yes.
but with the same amount. So what I'm hearing from staff is it needs a bit of administrative work on the guidance, the panel's guidance. So we probably need to see about tabling, bringing back because of the amendments of the geographical lens. Is that what I'm hearing right? I'm looking at Kimani as well, who's like nodding his head. So I'm like, okay, legal
The
stuff.
reason we included some of the other counties, for example, last day, I was one of the restaurants that are on there. They are on the Crows Landing corridor, but they also have a facility in Manteca, which is in San Joaquin County, and they want to include their training for all of their facilities. So that's really just the one. I can't think of another one that's in San Joaquin County, but keeping it the same. And again, those other two they don't have very many employees.
I'm just checking on the route of, like, we have those different occupations. Does it affect your numbering and your total award based on the number of hours of training that's in that proposal? This is where it gets complicated. It may not be as easy to say, we just want to do this. It's about the number of hours, number of people, correct, that we need to go back, adjust based on guidance before approving?
I think, I mean, even just looking at the numbers, right? There's 30 employees in Fresno and 6 employees here and 30 employees there that are outside of that 2-county area. And so I think, Heather, I do appreciate the point of reference of trying to just adjust the math a little bit and requesting that this one come back next month. So I think where I'm at for lack of letting someone else talk is that I would move that we table this and request that staff bring it back next month.
One other option, and I am just throwing this out there, if you want to keep it to the 2 counties, I think we should rework it personally. Well, not personally, programmatically. If you choose, okay, we want to fund them today, what we can do, I think, is make a motion. We have done the math to remove job number 4. So we could reduce the proposal that includes the San Diego location. That would, though, however, keep Bakersfield, Kern, some of those others in there. But I think it would reduce it by approximately $22,000. Laura has those numbers. So we could make that motion, remove the San Diego folks, and move forward with the other counties. So
think we
just however you all want to proceed.
I think we have a current motion on the
To
table
table.
from
Yeah. I think I heard it
member
kind of
Derek
talk-
Kirk.
Yeah. So we have a motion to table.
Correct.
and
And a second.
Come back with panel's guidance. Okay, so we have a motion there
Member Small second.
and a second. Do we have any public comment?
No public comments online.
Any in the room? All right, so we will move to vote.
Can we clarify the motion is to specifically what is to be removed?
To table this and asking staff to remove the non-San Joaquin and Stanislaus County projects.
Thank you.
From
To focus that later. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do I need to re-second public comment or are we good?
So-
We're good.
We're fine.
Yep.
I think giving staff some latitude and some flexibility, because I think what we heard from the applicant was that there are some businesses that are based on a neighboring county but have geographic footprints. I'm fine with that type of inclusion. I don't think it needs to be a strict only San Joaquin and Stanislaus. I think it just needs to be the businesses need to be tied back.
I
into
heard
that
them as
community.
said as well, which I would say it's not in there at the moment to
Yeah.
think through. And that if they are one that has a Southern California footprint, it's the occupations that are, or the people that are there in
Exactly.
the valley, not in San Diego, not in Fresno, not in really keeping with that proposal of really doing the South Modesto area. Does that
Okay, so
help your guys'
there
guidance?
is an expectation that we will remove some of the trainees from this proposal.
Hence
that-
why we're saying table
out
rather
of-
than just
I understand.
take this off and then
Okay.
go, so that the funding is accurate for those regions.
Gotcha.
It's probably more in the proposal's favor. Yeah, and participating employees. It's probably more in your guys' favor to table come back than us to shave off right now. I'm just
Okay.
kind of giving you that higher piece. So the motion is to table. And I have a second. Do I have any public comments online?
No.
And I have any public comments in the room on this? All right, so I guess I go to vote.
Okay. Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk.
Aye.
All right, so the motion's adopted for us to table, work with staff to really focus on that area. Fantastic. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing success in it and really into that geographic. Thank you.
I'm still gonna clap.
You can, because we're going to give more to do it.
I think he deserves a clap more than anyone because he was up there longer than Drink Pack maybe, so, okay. We are moving along to the Turlock Chamber of Commerce, excuse me. We are on tab 16. They are a new contractor requesting $514,568 to train a total of 491 workers. Training will take place in Merced and Stanislaus counties, and representatives are here to answer any questions.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your time today. My name is Allie Jeffrey, and I'm the current Executive Director of the Turlock Chamber of Commerce. I also brought with me Alan Amy, our Chair of our Board of Directors. We are grateful for the panel's consideration of our proposal, which will help an upward employment mobility in Stanislaus and Merced counties, specifically the parts of Merced County closest to Turlock, which are very rural and underserved. As the Chamber addresses the high unemployment area in our priority employment strategic plan, we are also addressing skill gaps, which increase retention and earning potential across multiple employers. These employers are typically related to our geographical area. Our staff and training capacity has increased in the recent months, and with that support and positive employee and employer relationships, we are hoping to work with Lourdes and the tool set that she has provided to continue staff growth and increase retention in our area.
All righty, thank you. Any questions from anyone on this? So I'm going to go, I'm in one of these days. So again, my backyard, I feel when I read this, I'm excited to see Turlock doing this. There's a lot of industry coming into Turlock and a lot of rural areas in there. It feels slightly like spaghetti on the wall, like we've got every sector in there, lots of small numbers. I want you guys to be successful. Lots of small numbers. There's a huge amount of administration between lots of different businesses. It just feels very wide in the way that it reads.
In Turlock, we have over 4,000 businesses, but in our chamber, we have about 400. When we looked at our chamber membership to address this grant, one of the things we wanted to look at is the responsiveness and the need of that actual industry. As an administrator, I'm not worried about the capacity to collect that information because we do have the budget available to bring on additional staff if that's needed. But for us, we wanted to make sure that we were including the employers that otherwise weren't being addressed because they're too small to get into larger grant areas in our area.
I love the fact you've got nursery workers as a big need. Like when I look at occupations in the region, having small children, know the work that's been done in childcare just generally in the region. I love that we're reaching into some of those areas. I think there's also a lot of different moving pieces of contracts just going in the region. So I think my biggest concern is like we're spreading the love everywhere. And maybe a slightly tighter focus as you're thinking about your outreach and you're thinking about these pieces of how do I really give success back to each? One of the pieces I did want to know is like, who's delivering the training? Is it being provided by the chamber and vendors, or is it more the businesses are doing it and you're just reimbursing them for their training?
It depends on the actual employer, and we did poll them to kind of see where they were at. Some of these employers do have an established training person on staff, but for the ones that do not, we have contractors on the commerce staff that they would not pay for and have access to, that are industry experts that have been vetted, given their different skill sets. We also work alongside other chambers. In our chamber area, we actually have a multi-chamber group that meets. So we talk amongst ourselves and share contractors when we find an expert that would be appropriate for training. In addition to that, we've offered our space up for the smaller employees, because you'll notice in some of these are pretty rural. They may not have even the capacity to have a meeting space, so they'll also get that for free working through this program. So we'll be assessing what they can do internally and what they need help with. Some of these employers did come to us because they do have need help in a specific area, and we'll address that as it comes up.
Okay. Derek, you look
I
like you
think
have a question.
I'm not to sound like a broken record. I think I have a little bit of concern of your capacity. So if you could talk more, I said business associations earlier. I used to run the Atascadero Chamber of Commerce, so I'm quite familiar with the model, and I really appreciate the work that you all do. The organization historically has been very small,
Correct.
Which is okay, right? But also to come in and ask for $514,000. You've made reference a couple of times to like your own new capacity to hire staff. Can you help us understand what that looks like?
Absolutely. So I came onto the chamber in February. At that time, they had 1 full-time staff and 1 part-time staff. Since that time, they've gone to 3 full-time staff with 2 part-time staff and 1 intern that works 20 hours a week. And that's just from capacity building. Our board had done great strategic work prior to my coming on board, because they knew they wanted to go into a stage of growth. And I come from an endowment that managed $70 million worth of grant funds. So I came from a very different area and immediately started with staff capacity and internal networking. So we've increased our computer systems and our staffing and all of those things pretty rapidly so that we could address the needs of our community, because you can't create good work without a good background foundation. So we did that first. And this is our second step, is to bring in enough funding to use the tools that we've got in place to help people more effectively. And I know there's always concerns about contracting and managing contracting. And I think that the thing that we can speak to the most is we know that we can grow. We're nimble and we're young in that way. We're in a regrowth period as a chamber. We're looking at the chambers around us and the experts with the tools around us that have already started this, and just trying to reach into different areas. We don't have overlap with Modesto Chamber, even though they're Trish is right there next to me.
He's right next to it,
But
yeah.
we talk to them all the time, and same with the Latino Chamber and all the other chambers in our area. So we know we're addressing different employers because we've talked with them, and we know that we're looking at different things. I know it looks like a lot of different industries, but in a small town, these people literally sit around the same table at the same functions at our chamber often, and there's a lot of overlap in the types of trainings that they need.
Yeah, I mean, I was at TID on Wednesday for some meetings, as I noted in the region earlier. We met with Hillmar Cheese and we met with Divert, and there's a lot of really cool stuff happening. And so, like, I can certainly appreciate the commitment to the companies in Turlock. The chair knows the region obviously better than I do, so would defer to her for any other questions. I think the capacity is a real concern and something that I would want to watch to make sure, right, that you all are actually able to meet that. But I'll stop talking.
No, I think my concern is more around capacity. I look at weighted averages as well, and a lot of small businesses. So yours are a lot of small. I mean, yes, Hillmar's in there; they're a bit bigger, and a couple of others. But I think one of the pieces when I look at this is it's 35 hours on a weighted average. That's a lot for small businesses. That's my, like when I look at the weighted average hours. It doesn't mean every employee is getting 35. It means some are getting more and some are getting less. But that is quite high for small businesses over a 2-year period. I think that's when I look at it with geographical, and I appreciate supporting the small business because a lot of them will not come in otherwise. They'll be like, they might go to delegation, but quite often they just don't get this resource, and I think it's fantastic. I just want to make sure we're successful, and I think that's the only thing. And maybe I'm more passionate because it's my back door, and we have plants either side of Turlock, so it's my back door, and I just want you guys to be really successful to be able to come back in like any other contractor as well. I just look at those weighted averages. I look at like a lot of small businesses. Will they actually be able to give out that many? Now there's adjustments that can be made and stuff, but that's my only capacity and average hours is I don't know how anyone else feels down this side. I know where Derek's kind of sitting, but I'm not, I'm not
think
sure on the others.
I
or
think
if-
a lot of that average hour problem probably comes from the fact that we do have several applicants in here that are from what I would consider larger industries for training, where they're either in a healthcare industry or
Mhm.
they're specifically in a food manufacturing situation where they're going to be having regular trainings to increase capacity at all times. And with that increased capacity comes increased pay sets in both of the employers that I know of that were in that higher hour when we were doing our research.
I think one of my biggest pieces would be to leverage the network. And I say this in management of contracts, in having that transparent contract, when you're out on the marketing side, having the transparent conversation of, do they actually have single employer contracts currently? Because there's quite a few that may not be on here, but are in the Turlock region, to make sure, because they can't be in both contracts.
Yeah.
The same with leverage the other chambers. So Success, you have Stanislaus County on there. If Trish has people who need it and you're coming to the end of your contract and you
For sure.
haven't, think
That's how all of our
strategically.
chambers
I'm going to say
operate
think
on the-
strategically that
Yeah.
way. I'm not going to tell
That's
you
why
do
I
it.
mentioned it.
but-
That's why I was so transparent to mention it. I would absolutely help Trish if she
Mhm.
had someone coming in at the end, and I know she would help me if I got stuck.
I
And in
would
the same
really
way
say
that
leverage
anybody
that.
else in our area. All of the chambers in our area are pretty unique in what they offer, but we all have people who overlap. So we'll definitely be checking to make sure that there isn't any overlap in contract. I always do that anyhow. Of the 16 applicants on here, 13 we were able to confirm within the last 2 weeks that they're still interested, that they're
Mhm.
still vetted and meeting all the criteria that we asked for. And of the 3 that were left, 2 were on vacation, so it just was timing. We also have gotten interest from other employers who've heard about this contract application that are in the manufacturing industry already since our application. So we know that there's need there that has not been met. And we're more on the south side of that Stanislaus County. She's more on the north side of Stanislaus County for the most operating. But I have no rules there, and neither does my chamber. And we don't have any rules that you have to be a chamber member for any of our things either. So we're about helping the community. I am from Turlock and love my Stanislaus and Merced County just as much as you guys do.
Madam
Madam
Chairperson,
Chair,
I want to just make an announcement that Member Newsom has re-entered the meeting.
Okay, fantastic.
And I'm sorry, to be in compliance with Bagley Keene, I also need to announce that I am joined in person by my partner, Christopher Erickson Jr.
Okay, thank you. Were you about to say something, Jessica? Someone was about to say something. Yeah, okay. Because I hadn't seen it. I was like listening and I was like, okay. Anything else from anyone on this? Are we feeling comfortable, Derek?
Yeah, I'm comfortable. I would say, to be fair, as I said to the last organization, to you all, it sounds like you guys have built up your capacity, and I think that that's really great, and you've got some good companies that are involved. I would say, if you significantly don't hit this mark in the contract period, it will be harder for you in the future to come back at that same type of level. And I know plenty of your colleagues in the chamber space have kind of created this model where they are providing this benefit to their industry. And so, I love that you are leaning on that network and hope that you can, not just in the region, but up and down the state. There's some really great partners there. And be cognizant, right, that given that this is such a large amount of funding for your first go round, it will be harder in the future if you're not able to meet that mark. But I think given kind of the space and given the framing on the kind of 2-county region, I'm comfortable.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? No? Do I have a motion?
I'll move approval for the Turlock Chamber of Commerce ETP contract number ET26-0116 in the amount of $514,568.
Second.
Thank you. Any public comment?
No public comments online.
And any public comment in the room? Does not look like it. Okay, we shall move to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk,
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Abstain. I joined midway through the deliberations.
All right. Thank you. So the motion is adopted with a 5-1. So you are funded. I look
you.
forward to
Thank
hearing about it.
Okay, we're on the last tab. That is tab 17. This is a proposal from the Industrial Council of the City of Commerce, California. They are a repeat contractor with good prior performance, requesting $849,852 to train 516 workers throughout California. Representatives from the Industrial Council are here to answer any questions.
I say good morning, but I think it's good afternoon. It is just good afternoon.
Well, last but not least, I hope. So my name is Robert Taylor. I'm the Executive Director for the Commerce Industrial Council, which is the Chamber of Commerce in East Los Angeles. We're here with an application for our 4th contract. We love this program. Our employers love this program, and our performance has been really good on the last 3. Your packet may show on our existing contract ET24 that we're at 83%, but that sort of was a few days ago. We're actually at 98.6%. So that this existing contract is now complete. In fact, we completed that in a little over 12 months. So we have a very diverse 100B, and we also have a lot of other interest, as you said, with having diversity here and some new employers getting involved in the program. Again, word gets around and we now have a waiting list. So we're absolutely confident that we can fulfill this 4th contract the same way, the same efficiency as we did with the other 3. But of course, I'm here to answer any questions you have.
All right, thank you. You preempted mine of where are you currently and where are we going as we're coming in for a lot more than last time. So I was like, you preempted that one for me. And I look at staff as I'd say to confirm that, but I'm sure they are going to say that's right, where we're sitting on the invoicing amounts on the close to closeout,
You
are
would
we?
have to check.
Phil has some updates.
Oh, Phil has the updates. Just make us feel good, you know. We like that. In the space of like the week of the closeout of panel packets to that. I like that. Okay.
We tried for 101, but the system.
The system doesn't let you, does it? No, I know. We can't be overachievers. We can only be achievers, is what it seems. Okay, maybe Tara should look at how we can overachieve in the system. All right, any other questions on this proposal? Comments? Gretchen, any from you? No, you're good.
None for me. They look successful
Mm-hmm.
and higher wages than otherwise.
Motion to approve the Industrial Council of the City of Commerce, California, contract number ET 26-0114 in the amount of $849,852.
Second.
Any public comments on this proposal?
No public comments online.
And it doesn't look like anyone's running this way, so we will go to vote.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk,
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Aye.
All right, so we all voted in favor. The motion's adopted. You're funded, and I look forward to another overachieving 101%.
Keep up the good
Hey,
work.
thanks so
Keep
much,
up the good
everybody.
work. Yeah.
Pleasure. Thanks so
You're
much.
welcome. All right, I'm going back to my agenda so I don't go off topic like rogue like I did earlier, because, you know, it's getting towards lunch. Okay, so we've done proposals. We did the EVIT ones already. So I think it's coming to that fun time of day near to the end.
Chair, if I may, it is my understanding because EVITP is on the agenda, I will give a brief overview of that. It will be informational only, and we will also allow any of those EVITP awardees who might still be here to come up briefly to the podium.
We can do that if we need
Right,
to do that.
right, Kumani? I'm looking at our legal list.
Look, we need to keep me in check today. So.
Yeah, so
Yep.
if I may, I'll just say quick couple of sentences. We've talked about this a little bit, but as you know, ETP entered into an interagency agreement with the California Energy Commission in December of 2024. We were awarded, through that agreement, ETP received $3 million, 2.7 of which is in programmatic funding for us to release. This award, this program was vetted through panel back in January of this year, and an SFP was released in May. We received 15 successful applicants. 14 were included in your packet today. Just briefly, the CEC is the lead state agency investing in infrastructure to charge electric vehicles, and through its Clean Transportation Program, are investing in training initiatives that are helping to drive the transition to clean zero-emission electric vehicles throughout the state. ETP's role within the CEC's broader efforts is to ensure electricians holding a current general electrician certification issued by the California Department of Industrial Relations are certified to install electric vehicle equipment through the EVITP nonprofit organization. As I said, we have awarded 1.7 in this iteration, and we are planning to release a secondary SFP in order to fund the remaining $1 million in program funding for this program. With that, Kumani, let's make sure I'm doing this the right way, but I would like to open it up to any of the potential awardees if they would like to address panel.
That's correct. And I also believe there's a member of the CEC that's present, and if they'd like
Yes.
to make comments as well.
Thank you.
Can I just check one thing for clarification for, I'm going to say next month. You said 14 of 15 are
Yeah,
present?
correct.
Because the 15th could
Could
not
not
meet the
attend.
criteria of being
That's
here.
correct.
So we'll be
So
revisiting next month as well.
I-
Is that correct?
I believe they would be funded since this is now an informational item.
That's why I wanted to check because you were saying 14 and 15.
But I defer. I can certainly let you know who that organization is and pull up their award amount.
I think you said 14 and 15 I think you said 14 and 15 funded.
We
just
will
wanted
be
to check.
funding 15. 14 were included in your packet today. There is one that was not available to come to the meeting today.
Okay. We'll just have to remember about that.
But
one.
the full 15 are funded. We
Correct.
moved that.
Correct.
Yes.
That is my understanding.
But just to make sure that we're like,
Sure. So because
Yeah.
this is now an informational item,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are all
they're all
Right.
funded. Okay.
Sorry. For the record, I will say that organization's name and their award amount, and then I think we can consider this round of EVITP funding.
Yeah. I just
done.
want to make sure we caught that.
Yeah,
one.
thank you. And so for folks that want to come up and speak to panel, please say your name and organization and brief remarks to the panel members. We really appreciate it.
Not sure if it's still the morning, but hello, everyone. I first of all want to say thank you to the panel for giving us the thumbs up, approving us for this funding. We could certainly use it. And let me introduce myself. I'm Anthea Jabarkos. I'm a special projects assistant out of IBW Local 11. I work at our training trust, which is called, it's a long name, the Los Angeles County Electrical Educational and Training Trust Fund, doing business as the Los Angeles Electrical Training Institute. So I just wanted to just say thank you again, and we do good with what funding we do get. As you know, we've always been successful with the other ETP grant funding. We've always gotten 100% fulfillment on that. We could easily double that because the size of our apprenticeship is large. We have over 1,300 apprentices, and that's not even including our over 6,000 journey level people that take continued education. We will be able to secure, now that we have this funding, we'll be able to make sure that we get more of our apprentices to complete, as they complete their apprenticeship, they'll be able to get their state certification for EVITP. That's great. And I also wanted to mention a couple things about union work, just in general. You might all be aware of this, but I don't know. I went to college and then I didn't get a career. Being in my union got me a career. I just learned a phrase right now called train and pray, and that means like if you go to college, they'll train you for a career, but then you might have to pray for a job. Not in the union. If you don't get brought in as an apprentice and get training unless there's work for you. That's how it works. It works that way. As soon as you start your apprenticeship, you're already beginning work, you're getting experience. You don't have to do internships to hopefully get paid minimum wage, if anything. You actually are working, getting great wages, getting benefits, working towards your pensions. It's a gift, and it's a really good way to make, to spend funding. We also help out our community. I want to read you a couple of items out of our Constitution. This is some of our 11 objects. I'm going to read 5 of them. To secure employment, to secure adequate pay for our work, to secure a higher standard of living, to seek security for the individual. And this is the last object, in the Constitution, and by legal and proper means to elevate the moral, intellectual, and social conditions of our members, their families, and dependents in the interest of a higher standard of citizenship. And we believe in helping people. We do outreach. Happen to run a women's group with some other grant funding. We bring in 30 to 40 women a month, where I try to recruit and retain women into our apprenticeship. We do outreach. We have an outreach coordinator. He gets out there to the hard-struck communities, or communities that might have never heard of unions. Like we go to Compton, we go to all the little places. We also have our VEEP program, which is our Veterans Electrical Entry Program. We bring in the most out of that. What that is a direct entry program for veterans. And we quarterly have up to 25 seats. We try to fill those seats. So that's 100 new veterans. And currently we have 10% of our apprenticeship is veterans. So we're reaching out to all these communities. Also, people who are previously incarcerated. We have a partnership with a group called Second Call. And we have members that are rank and file, that are actually really high level in our local, that have been previously incarcerated, because we're not looking at your past, we're looking at how we can improve your standard of living in your future citizenship. So I just wanted to say again, thank you, because whenever there's funding to us, we do our best. We really try to make sure we get good people, good jobs. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jana McKinney. I am from the California Energy Commission in the Fuels and Transportation Division. And I am the Commission Agreement Manager that has been working on the interagency agreement between the CEC and ETP to develop and administer the EVITP fund. First, I want to just say thank you to Robert and Heather for all of your energy and efforts so far. I was super excited to see the first round of applications and the wide variety of projects that applied, from unilateral apprenticeship committees to, I believe there's a private vocational training center on there, to JATCs. We were excited to see the wide range geographically of projects from Northern to Southern California. And also, even most important, I think, was the incredible amount of partnerships in the project summaries. Community colleges, workforce training boards, there's quite a few tribes on there. Those are all networking contacts that I'm not sure that the Energy Commission would have been able to establish on our own. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking this on. We continue to hear feedback from our grant recipients and stakeholders at the Energy Commission who would very much like to hire locally, but are struggling to find EVITP certified electricians to install infrastructure. So I'm looking forward to your agreements with these projects being implemented, and in the near future, growing the workforce that's available to safely install charging infrastructure. By 2035, we estimate that over 2 million shared and public private chargers will be needed to meet the California state zero emission vehicle goals. So I think we are making progress on this front, and I appreciate all your energy. Thanks. Yeah. Or maybe pun intended. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Matthew Newton-Boom, and I am a representative of IBEW Local 340 here in Sacramento. So thank you, Madam Chair and panelists, for the time and for the funding, quite frankly. I used to teach EVITP. Our local unions and jurisdictions adopted this training in 2011 when it was in its first iteration. And our workforce is fairly well saturated with it. But we also have many of our members who either had their certifications expired or others that did not get an opportunity to be a part of our industry through their apprenticeship training. So that's how we intend to utilize the funds. I wanted to take my time here to emphasize the requirement of the state certification for a general electrician's license. And that's not an empty requirement. We fully support this requirement, and not just because we believe it's in the public's interest to make sure that this infrastructure is installed properly, but one of the philosophies of training in the IBEW is that we want to create a complete tradesperson. And at its heart, EVSE and charging equipment is electrical equipment. I think that we've learned some lessons through some previous initiatives. We're living one out right now, quite frankly, with the solar industry, and the deflation is that we spent an enormous amount of public resources to singularly train people for solar installations. And as that industry is diminishing, they are finding, unfortunately, that they have very entry-level skills when it comes to the electrical industry at large. So I just want to emphasize that to the panelists. That's not an empty requirement. And I think it's critically important that we make sure that everyone who's installing electrical vehicle charging equipment has a state-certified general electrician. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and panel members. Thank you for the chance to speak and for your leadership in moving the EVITP grant forward. My name is Melissa Tra, and I'm here representing the Central Valley Business Federation, or BizFed Central Valley. We are a grassroots alliance of 75 businesses and business organizations with members from across the Central Valley in a variety of industries. Our job is to lift up the voice of business and make sure policies and programs work for the people and industries in our region. We're really excited to be part of this effort and really appreciate the panel's commitment to supporting a variety of training pathways. That kind of flexibility makes it possible for us to partner with more contractors and training providers and reach more workers, especially in some of the most remote areas in our region. With this grant, we look forward to helping build a strong pipeline of VITP certified workers right here in the Central Valley. Thank you again for your time and investing in our region. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Dominique Mitchell. I am the Director of Workforce Development at Associated Builders and Contractors, and also fellow Modestoan. I live there. I want to thank all of you for the approval of the EVITP grant. We are very, very excited to be a part of this mission. For over a decade, our organization has driven workforce in heavily underrepresented communities. We have partnered with different programs to bring those individuals in that are striving to build their communities, to build themselves up, and to have real career opportunities. We agree 100%. It needs to be certified electricians that do this work. They need to have the knowledge to do this, and we need to be able to drive the knowledge to those individuals of the importance of this and get them behind this effort. We're excited and honored to have this opportunity to drive the EVTP forward. We've already started creating domains, surveying our general electricians, subcontractors, and journeymen. We have over 500 contractors. More than half of them are electricians. Our chapter is also the 5th largest chapter of Associated Builders and Contractors. We cover 47 counties in California. And we are excited to give those individuals that come to us for continuing education opportunities to stay compliant within the state of California every year, another opportunity to better not just themselves, but the industry as a whole. So again, thank you very much for your time today.
Do we have any online?
No public comments online.
Looks like we're done. Am I passing it back
Sure.
to you?
Yeah, just briefly, in order to recognize and put on the record the 15th EVITP awardee. That will be Ventura County Electrical Joint Apprenticeship Training Committee, and they will be funded for $8,487. And that is it from me today.
You sure?
Yes.
Just checking. All right. Nothing else that I think I have to do that I've missed on the agenda, going back to it. So we are now moving to that time of the opportunity for all my panel members to think about, is there anything on future agenda items you would like to add? They're looking at future panel meetings, not policy. No. Questions not jumping, so no hand. So we're now switching to public comment. So it's that time of the meeting where we open up the floor for public comment. Staff will be timing, as they do, for matters not on the agenda. We're here to listen, but we cannot action. Alrighty. Phil is waiting rather patiently. I'm going to check anything online first. Yeah.
Nothing online.
Okay. We'll switch over to Phil and then we'll see.
Somebody just raised their hand.
Okay, so we do have one online.
Do you want to do that one first?
I'm going to go online first. Yeah.
Let's do it. Go ahead.
I know you're quite happy standing there.
Who's the applause people?
Do you think I did that? No. All right. So we will go to the public comment online first.
Hi there. Rocio, go ahead.
Hi, this is Rocio from CMTC. Sorry, Phil. I just wanted to congratulate Laura Campbell on her promotion and ETP for their wisdom in leveraging her talents in her new role. We've already had the opportunity to work with Laura. She's been wonderful. She's a great listener. Her approach is so collaborative and she's focused on problem solving. ETP has so many wonderful staff and just Laura is a great member of that team. Finally, in the spirit of Spirit Day, if you want to make us in the field and not in the room participate, turn on the reactions. We'll throw in some high fives and thumbs up and a little applause emojis as we can. That was really all I wanted to contribute, but really happy for some of the changes and a good meeting today. Thank you.
Thanks, Rocio. All right, Phil, it's yours.
Showtime. Hello, Chair, members of the panel. My name is Philip Herrera, and I'm proud to appear before you today with some truly exceptional news that deserves to be celebrated. Against the backdrop of a difficult fiscal year, when many programs face severe cuts, the Employment Training Panel has emerged not only intact, but stronger than ever. Thanks to the tireless advocacy of this panel, the unwavering support of ETP leadership under Dr. Grimes, and the unity of a diverse coalition that included business, labor, government, and our state community colleges, we have secured a $50 million restoration to the ETP reserve and preserved the full $123 million in annual funding for fiscal year 25-26. We can cue the applause if anybody's left, right? Thank you. Let that sink in for a moment. In a climate of fiscal restraint, ETP's full annual appropriation was preserved. And more than that, we brought back $50 million that was taken last year that will now go directly to support training for high-wage, high-road jobs across the state. Governor Newsom's Jobs First economic blueprint calls out ETP as the state's premier training partnership between business, government, and labor. And now, thanks to this budget victory, we have the resources to meet that expectation. The implications are profound. The funding will help train thousands of workers in the trades, life sciences, advanced manufacturing, clean energy, and semiconductors, sectors that are critical to California's future. It will empower employers to upskill their teams, support unions in delivering transformative apprenticeship programs, and help workers to earn good wages and sustainable careers. This accomplishment belongs to every one of you, the staff, the panel members, and the partners who fought to keep ETP strong. You've done something remarkable, and the impact will be felt across the state in the months and years ahead. Let's take a moment to appreciate this win, and then let's get back to work building a better California for all. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Or do we leave on that high? No other public comment?
No public comments online.
All right. So that only comes to that last part, and I'm looking at the room.
Motion to adjourn.
That is what I'm looking for. I have one. Do I have a second? All right, I have to roll call vote. I get told off, but before that, public comment to adjourn? Hopefully not. Okay, we will move to vote to adjourn.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Ricky Smiles,
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
Derek Kirk,
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Aye.
Alrighty, so we will call this meeting to close, and it is 12:25, and we'll see you next month.